But if you work in the home office, you have a salary, right? And you have an end game. It's called retire. And then when you retire from corporate America, what happens to your income? No, it ends, other than what you saved or a pension. I mean, basically, there's no new paychecks getting sent to you other than the money you've created to create those paychecks, right? Correct. So their end game, the Glenn Williams of the world, the Greg Pitts, Chess Brits, these are people that run our home office and our company and make decisions. They've got to cash in on the stock. They've been here for 30 years, a lot of these guys. They grew up and they started maybe in policy owner service, and they worked at or licensing or in a warehouse stacking, how many works books. I don't know. I'm telling you, this is where this home office generated from, and now they're running the company. Mm-hmm. And Glenn Williams is running the company better than any CEO we've ever had. And they are like an open book right now. Okay, and I am fortunate enough, we are fortunate enough as a team, because I consider this a team. You're not all on our team. Some of you are from other hierarchies, but we're a team. We're on the Primerica team. And if you wouldn't be here today if you're not in our hierarchy, you wouldn't be here today unless you are influencing or have influence or have relationships with people that are on our team. And to me, I like to know our team is like my kids, right? So don't you want to know who your kids are hanging out with? Mm-hmm. So that's why I do it that way. Okay, I want to make sure I have a chance to influence the friends of my kids. Okay, you all got it? So because this is all I got. I mean, this is a family business we've built, all right? And if I say if, I shouldn't use that word. When you all choose to use this for your family business, it can deliver for you just like it's delivered for us. But you've got to know and understand that they want to know what you think. They want to know what you think. Okay. I'm going to talk about a lot of things today. Let me kind of give you just some of the subjects that we're going to cover. And I promise you, we're not going to get done all the subjects. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass a board around for you to put your email. So everything that we don't get to will be available to you. So I have a PowerPoint in this list, in this folder called Lakeland Bootcamp, and we don't get to the PowerPoint. You'll have access to it, okay? And unfortunately, Primerica is like trying to take a sip of water out of a fire hydrant. It comes at you so fast, and if you're pretty new, most of it will go over your head. That's fine. Pick up what you can pick up. Learn what you can learn. But there'll be some themes here that are really, really important throughout the day. So we're going to talk about the Money in Business seminar. Now, I am not going to do the seminar. I'm just not. I'm not doing an op-ed, okay? Those of you that were in Gainesville the other evening, Tori and Kiara and their teams and Kent's teams, they had, 41 in attendance in Gainesville, right? So I want to congratulate you guys for an awesome night. Okay? Jessica, where's Jessica? She was there. She was the smiling guest that made it to training today, okay? And that tells you about somebody. I mean, I'm just telling you, success leaves clues. Mm-hmm. And if you see this thing and it's for you, you're not going to sleep. You're going to start, you're going to wake up, you're going to have had Primerica dreams, and you're going to wake up, you're going to think about your business, and it's just going to catch you. It takes over. And it takes over because you get passionate and have hope about what's possible for your future, different than you've ever seen. And it's not for everybody. But when I met Thomas, that's what happened. Not only did I not really meet him at a Starbucks, you got to understand, I did a meeting. When the meeting was all over and everybody was leaving, he wanders in and says, "Where's the pizza?" I'm here for the pizza. Okay? That's how we met. So here's the pizza. There's 9 pizzas because there was only 8 people and there was supposed to be 40. Wow. So we've got some extra pizza. So I bribed him with pizza, and I said, why don't we have a cup of coffee tomorrow, and I'll show you what we do. And that's when we met. And it was like, for him and I, it was like we connected just like that fast. Now, why did that happen? Here's why. Because I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was looking for. And he knew that what he was looking for was someone that could help him get what he wanted. That was it. So you guys got to get that the real deal is competency. The real deal here is you got to know what you're doing. This is not a thing. It's not a network marketing thing. There's nothing wrong with network marketing. I have nothing negative to say about network marketing other than some of the companies in network marketing are not very honorable. Okay? But there's some that are very honorable. But the idea of recruiting and overriding other people is part of network marketing. We recruit and override people. It's also recruiting and overriding people is part of corporate America or any business. Recruiting and overriding people is a part of real estate. It's part of the mortgage industry. It's part of the brokerage world. It's part of the law firms. It's part of everything. If you own a hair salon, that means you've got people cutting hair, and every time they cut a head, you get what? You get paid. It's called overrides. Profit margin, many different words for it. But when you can deliver a basic message or take someone with you who can deliver that message, this works. When doesn't this work? When you work and somehow you've never learned what to say. Like what you say, what comes out of your mouth doesn't attract. It repels. Doesn't work. So in our business, there's only one thing you got to get good at. It's talking to people. Someone once said, I don't really like talking to people. Well, you want to make money? Yeah, well, learn to talk to people. Act like you like it. Or keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't complain to me. We've got a system here that can allow you to achieve your goals and dreams. So our job today is to deliver to you some of those conversations. You're going to have to pay a lot of attention. You're going to take a lot of notes. I think I'm probably on something live right now. Yes, is this live something?
Yes. Live and recorded.
What?
Live and recorded.
Live and recorded. Okay, I'll be good. It's really intimidating. Hello. So Thomas and I, we connected, and here's why we connected. He was happy, excited, like a little puppy, like you, like a little puppy. That's what you're looking for, okay? Not looking for an old, worn-out dog that goes, ah. Where? How? Let's go. Who are you looking for? Who do you want to attract? Who do you want in your business? Who do you want to spend time with? It's the whole game. You got to find some people that you like. That's why I love coming here. I like you guys. You're fun to be around. You're great people. This is a cool area. I like Lakeland. I feel good when I come here. I feel very blessed when I'm around here. Okay? So that's the way this place is. So you got to find people like that, right? Yeah. So we're going to talk today about the Money in Business seminar, but really what we're going to talk about the concepts that we're conveying when doing an interview, an overview, a kitchen table. What have we discovered over 38 years that actually has our business grow and become a real business, as opposed to being a self-employed advisor? So I want to make sure you guys get self-employed advisor. You can do that here. You get all your licenses. We're not going to talk about Series 65 licenses today, but if I were you and I was getting started brand new in the business today, I'd want to have that license. I'd be working towards the Series 65 license. My goal would be going to get my life license, going to knock that out. I'm going to go get my securities license very quickly. I'm going to knock that out. Those of you that are working this business without a securities license are working at a very large disadvantage. What?
Yeah, that's me. Okay. Turn it off.
Okay.
Oh, it's confusion with the live stream. I can feel it.
I just
there, I see you there.
Share it with the people on my team.
I got your face. Don't do that anymore. Okay, so you got to get your securities license. Now, here's the good thing about not having a security. There's a good thing. If you don't have it, you can't get distracted by it. So I met somebody, I have a guy in my organization, he's got a felony. He cannot come to work with us. We tried, he can't come to work. But his spouse is a superstar. And he goes, I can't come to work. I said, you don't even know how lucky you are. So you are so lucky that you can't do this, that you can't go write any business. So you know what the only thing you can do is prospect, recruit, and set appointments for your spouse. That's the only thing. You cannot write any business. You cannot get distracted by anything that has to do with writing business. You are so lucky.
That's true.
Okay? And in their case, it was true. Because his spouse is awesome, and he keeps her booked up. She's got 30 to 40 to 50 appointments into the next 7 days at all times right now. 30. She's got 20 to 30 kitchen tables booked right now for the next 7 days. I would bet, I don't know the exact numbers, I would bet, because I talked to Anthony, he's on Anthony Heinz, I'd bet she had 14 or 15 kitchen tables booked for today and tomorrow, of which half will cancel.
What's the new name?
We're not going to give the name. Because we got this TV thing. That TV, you're going to get the name.
Get it after.
Just watch the top of the state leaders bulletin, future RVPs, you'll figure it out. Okay? And I'm just doing that. That's respecting his privacy, okay? But I'm using the story to let you all know that what sometimes you think things that have gone wrong in your life are, many times they're blessings in disguise and preparing you for the next chapter, for the next thing, whatever that is. And you have to recognize that, be willing to recognize it. But then you got to take this business and you got to grab it and go, okay, what are my attitude was always, what are the little things that the winners do that most people don't do? What are those things? Okay? And so that's what we're gonna hit on today, all right? So we're gonna talk about the seminar. We're talking about that every kitchen table that you do is a recruiting interview. So every time we talk about kitchen table presentation, people in Primerica hear sales, financial advisory, F&A, insurance, investments. That's what kitchen table means. I'm going there to someone's kitchen table to be their advisor. Okay? Is that, I'm not going to say everybody, but most people, that's what that means. How about if kitchen table from now on meant you get to go talk to somebody at their house? That's all that means. So what are you going to talk to them about at their house? Same thing you talk to them about in a meeting. Same thing you talk to them about in an interview at the Starbucks. We actually had an East, didn't we have a North Starbucks office also? Okay. So when I was here, we had two Starbucks offices. We built our business out of Starbucks. And then you got like a little, 100 square foot office somewhere. Timmy, right? We were all in there trying to do appointments, right? And then now look, okay? So why did that happen? He learned. He was a great student, and then he applied himself. And it didn't go fast. It wasn't like super speed, but it was steady growth, doing the right things, right? So we're talking about every kitchen table's a recruiting interview. And so we're going to talk about how to convert all appointments into recruiting conversations. And we'll talk about that in a moment. We're going to go about the concept of reproducer or producer. This will be one of the most important conversations today that I'll have with you, because most people that don't really succeed here, meaning, okay, let me give you the definition of, here's my definition of success in Primerica, where your business starts to really grow and expand without you doing any of the work. Okay? You all got that?
Yeah.
How free would you be if your income was going up from work that you did, not work that you're doing? So that there has to be a mechanism in your business that creates competent, independent people who can do what? Create competent, independent people. So this isn't about you need some insurance because you got kids and you need an investment so you could retire. Fortunately, if you're married and have kids and work, you need those things. Right? So we can that goes without saying. So I want you all to understand the insurance and investment stuff's the easy stuff. It's the easy stuff. The hard stuff is getting in front of somebody and having credibility when you get there. Right? You all with me?
Yeah.
That's the hard stuff. How do I get in front of qualified prospects? Unlimited numbers of qualified prospects. Actually, the only thing any of you in this room should be concerned about is how many appointments you have in the next 7 days with qualified people. And if you've got lots of appointments with unqualified people and you learn how to do this, soon those unqualified people will take you to qualified people. So I don't know what phase your business is in. I can tell you when I started, here's who I would talk to. Anybody. I said, oh, here's the right market. Right market? I just need a market. Let's get a market, you know? Like if a dog could talk back to me, I would have done a presentation for a dog. I needed to get some skills. I needed to do, nothing is going to happen here today for any of you. It's all going to happen when we leave. This is not the work at all. This is almost like entertainment for some of you, okay? Here's what I mean by that. If you come to a meeting like this and then don't go do anything with the information, this is like, I don't know, like a TV show of some sort, or a movie, or a play, or let's go watch the little guy perform. I don't know what it was. I don't know. If you don't do anything, it's useless, all right? Thank you for coming, okay? But our goal is that when you leave here, you understand your job is to become a producer. You could write business, help people with their insurance and investments. You learn that. What would you need in order to do that? 2 licenses. You need your investment license. You need your insurance license. Now, 65 is not mandatory, but we never know what the Department of Labor is going to do. We never know what's going to happen with the laws that they pass. And so they're telling us that a great way to prepare for the future is to have a Series 65 license as well. Okay, which is a very difficult license to get. Like a total pain in the butt. Like you don't want to get it, I promise. Okay? But you're a business person, you got to decide. Now they keep telling me I don't need it. And the reason I don't need it is they pay you overrides without that license. So if you're licensed, and on my team, if you got the license and you write up a managed account, you put $1 million away, it's going to pay you about $4,000 to $7,000 a year in income. A year. It's going to come every month. If you put $10 million in these accounts, $10 million, it's going to pay you between $40,000 and $70,000 a year in income. So if it took you 10 years to put $1 million away a year for your clients, in 10 years you would have built a pension of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in 10 years. And we're going to talk about recruiting. So let me just ask you, how many 50-year-olds who right now have no retirement and are going to have to live on Social Security, which is going to be $1,500 a month, let's say, would be interested by the time they're 60 in putting in place a pension that would pay them $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 a month on top of Social Security? How many 50-year-olds do you think would be interested in that?
All of them.
Like all. Yeah. And if they aren't, that's their problem.
Amen.
What's your job? Offer it. Figure out how to say those words. You got to figure out how to get the way. Are you 50? Oh, good. I have a conversation for you. This is not, don't overthink this. What's this? It's kind of a weird way to start. I just met the guy and he's already telling me about a conversation he has for me. Doesn't matter. Based on what you got right now, when you get ready to quit working, how much a month are you going to have coming in? That would be the question that you'd have to ask somebody. Some of you have parents right now that they need someone to ask them that question. The beginning of the year, Patty and I were 20 pounds heavier than we are now. Actually, probably 15. I gained a few pounds back, okay? But I won't. We decided we were going to lose weight. We were going to get in shape. This was going to be it. This was the year we were doing it, right? You know how many people decide that every January 1st? So what happens to the people that decide, this is the year we're going to start saving money. This is the year I'm going to be responsible with my finances. This is the year I'm going to make more money somehow, some way. Have any of you ever had those conversations with yourself?
Oh, yeah.
There's other people having them also. Many, many, many people are saying, I need to lose weight, I need to get in shape, and I need to get my finances straight. Those are common conversations. Are you all with me?
Mhm.
They're having them with themselves. Your job is to have them directly with them and offer a solution to the problem. Now, not on the weight loss and things, but it's the same. We could not do it without our coach. There's no way I would have done this without Patty preparing our meals. So we did it together. If it was up to me, I'm eating that piece of bread. Okay, I eat bread at night with dinner. I like bread, I like to dip. That's just me. No bread at night. No sugar. No dairy. I like pizza. What do you mean no dairy? No dairy. One day you get to cheat. One day you can have what you want. This is going to work, honey. We're going to do it. Without her, I don't do it. Next piece. We hired a coach, a fitness coach. She kicks my butt. She's in our base shop. Figured if I'm going to hire a coach, I'm going to spend 3 days a week in the morning getting coached by her on fitness. When I'm breathing hard and resting, I'm going to talk to her about Primera.
Right.
I don't have any other subject I want to talk about to this person other than getting in shape, and she should work with me. All right, so now she's licensed, and she's talking to a lot of people, and while she's convincing me I'm going to be tough, right, strong, fit, lean, 165 pounds, live a long life, be healthy, I'm convincing her she's going to be an RVP with massive numbers of people under her. And then when she's tired of coaching and trading hours for dollars, she's going to have a business built. And she's now in the wellness business, not the fitness and health business. She's in the wellness business. Fitness, health, financial, wellness. Where did I come up with that? Just came up with it. I'm a recruiter. The 50-year-old wants to have a pension.
Right.
The fitness coach doesn't want to have to coach forever. They don't even know that until you paint the picture of, did you ever think, like, if you're doing this 15, any of you fitness coaches, anybody here do that? No, they're all coaching. You'll be here Saturday morning. This is a day to coach. 15 years from now, if you keep doing what you're doing, are you going to like it? Are you going to like it? Like, if you're 30 and you do this for 15 more years, and the only way you make money is to tell someone to do 10 more push-ups. That's your line you get to do for the next 30 years. Are you really, is that it? You tell me somebody who really could get fired up about that. No, they're all trying to figure out how to buy a gym and have other trainers. Every one of them is trying to figure out how to get out of it. And they're committed to people or they wouldn't do it. So you got to start looking at everybody from the aspect of, if they keep doing what they're doing, will they reach their goals and dreams? And then ultimately, you got to ask them the questions. It all will happen for you if you decide that you're not going to be a producer, you're going to be a reproducer. Now listen, some of you have gotten promotions. I'm just going to talk about this now because it's on my mind. Some of you get promotions based on your good looks, you're great at begging, you show up to everything and you're positive, you've got a lot of potential, and you think that that if you can convince your upline to promote you without you having done the right things, that's in your best interest. Short term, yes. Long term, Take a shortcut, it will come back to bite you. You're going to have to learn you're going to have to, whatever you didn't do to get the promotion, don't worry, you'll have to learn it later. Or you'll never build anything. You'll be a salesperson forever, never having produced anyone who could produce anyone else. So I want you to understand, producers are very valuable and very important. Very few people, I do not want to demean this in any way. There's very few people that come in, get licensed, and go start, like you, last week, I'm getting a 7-day report right now, rolling 7 days. And we'll talk about this. It's called accountability. We're going to talk about it today. Every 7 days, who did what in the last 7 days? Angel is the #1 person in the entire Lavination hierarchy in production below RVP in the last 7 days with over 9,000 in production. And in the last 7 days, you were paid over $2,500. I don't think your securities license yet, so that all came from insurance, okay? That's rare air. I'm just telling you. That's rare air. Now, how long can you do that for? Well, until the job gets done, right? But what's the goal? What's the goal? It's great. It feels good to do that. If you do that, if you produce and you write business and you like Kent, I think you and Kent were the two there may be others, I'm going to ask, but you guys below RVP re-qualified at your level. So where's Kent? I saw Kent pop in. Kent's there? Kent's in the back there? So Kent, congratulations on your re-qualifying numbers. Awesome. Re-qualifying is another subject, very important subject. And you re-qualified. Who else re-qualified? I'm sure there's other people. Is there anybody else who, well, not below RVP? So below RVP to re-qualify. Now look, this guys, you got to you take this all in, but just understand this word re-qualify means I got my promotion and then I re-qualified at that level. Now we don't lower your contract. You don't go down here. If you get a district contract, you're a district. You're a division, you're a division. Once you could be a division, do great, and do nothing the next month, you're still a division. So in Primerica, we don't have a demotion system, okay? We just have a bonus system and an award system that says, hey, you ought to do whatever you did to get there, you ought to do it again, and if it can't sustain itself, you built it wrong. It's your side, it's a message. You didn't re-qualify, then you're not building the business the way it will continue to grow itself without you doing the work. All right, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And the only way to keep re-qualifying is to develop other people who can develop other people without you. So should the guidelines not be really focused on getting somebody licensed and independent of you, we call that a district leader. Not really. I could bring somebody in, help them get their 3 recruits and their 3 sales. They've got to take the test and get licensed, and they're now a district leader. I might have done all the work for them. They're a district. Rah, rah, rah. Wonderful. If they don't know what they're doing, that's a problem. Because what do I now have to do? I now have to train somebody that's already got a higher contract. In other words, I gave away a compensation to someone who didn't really deserve it. Now, by the way, they did deserve it because those are our guidelines. And what we want is you working at 50% as quickly as possible. Are we on the same guidelines? Yeah. Right. So it doesn't matter what you do after that, but the point is 3 by 3 is the cornerstone. You're going to see this today. 3 by 3 is the cornerstone, but the real cornerstone is repeating that without you. How many people do you have in your business that can present, close business, and recruit somebody, get a list, and help them go on appointments? How many people do you have that can do that process of recruit, train, develop, and get somebody out on their own, where you're getting a call at night that says, I closed one. And you go, oh, great. Tell me about it. Oh, it was great. It was $83 a month. And I'm a district. And I'm getting $500. And I gave them so much more protection than they had. And we freed up money that they're going to invest, and now they're going to have all this money at retirement. I'm not licensed yet. Will you help me with that, coach? Yes, I'll help you. But I want you to be licensed so you can do it. Okay, coach, I'll work on that. Then you hang up the phone, you go, $1,000, 50%. I'm a vice president. I've got a $20,000 2020 base. So I'm at 130. They're at 50. I'm at 130. They're at 50. That's 80. What's 80% of 1,000? 800. How many of you like the sound of, I got one, coach? 800. Cha-ching. That's all I thought about. That's all I thought. I said, I want those overrides. I want overrides. I want money coming in on work I didn't do. I want the did work. I want did, not do. Do. You understand do? You go and do, and then they pay you. I did it. Now they pay me and I don't do it anymore. With them. I do it with new people. Do the do work, get them trained. Now I did the work and I get paid. I want you all to have a distinction. There's do work and there's did work. The did work is stuff you used to do, you did it, and now you keep getting paid for it. That is rare air in this country. That doesn't exist for most people. Most people only get paid on the what? The do work. The active, not the passive. We're going to talk about active and passive. I'm just bringing up. We're going to get into it a little bit. All right. Overrides. You need people who can do it without you. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
So if that in fact is what there is to do, what are you spending your time doing? Well, it depends on what level you're at. If I'm brand new getting licensed, just getting started, I want someone to give me the clearest direction, the fastest track to did income possible. Just tell me what I need to do. Right? Does that make sense? You need to become a reproducer. That means you need to have trained somebody who's trained somebody. Not train somebody to sell. That's okay. That's good. Not just sell. That's good. Remember, if you do that, you are better than the masses. Most never get there. Do not beat yourself up and you, oh, yeah, I'm just a lowly personal producing. No, you are successful here if you did that. Okay, now you'll burn out at some point. You'll get tired at some point. You'll wear out at some point. You'll be frustrated later, but understand you've done something most have never done. But now what there is to do is if you could do it, could you teach it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If you could do it, you could teach it. So applaud yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just understand that what there is to do is have somebody else do without you. So that means every interaction, every conversation, every meeting is with the thought, how can I get this person doing it without me ASAP? How can they be competent without me? That becomes the thought process of a person who's building a business as opposed to self-employed. All right, does that make sense? You all got that? Now, first you're going to have to learn it. But if you learn it while doing something called prospecting for new recruits, if you make recruiting your number one focus, now things can start to happen. I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm going to show you the 4-point game plan. Let me just, so we got producer, reproducer. Kind of covered that. We're done with that one. Y'all got that one?
Yeah.
Let me just see something. How many of you stand up if you are licensed and you've written a piece of business on your own with nobody helping you? You got your license, you went and wrote the business, and no one was there. Okay, so stay standing. Congratulations. By the way, so these are the producers. Congratulations. Okay. Now, next piece. Stay standing if you have somebody standing, or they're not here, but you've trained somebody else to produce. Stay standing. So now we've got the reproducers, right? Congratulations. Rare air. By the way, the future RVPs are standing. You guys are this is the reality that you all are the next RVPs. That's it. That's how this works. Okay? So if you want to be an RVP, you got to still be standing when these questions get asked. Right? That's what there is to do. All right, now I got one more. Stay standing if you've trained somebody who's trained somebody to write business without you. Stay standing. So we got Shane and we got Timmy's not sure. You'll think about it and you'll either stand up or not, right? So we got Ken and Shane standing right now, right? Obviously, Thomas, that's how you get to VP. So congratulations. Now wait, one more thing. Stay standing if you also have somebody who's written a piece of securities business without you. Stay standing. Okay, which by the way, look, I'm just telling you, based on the numbers out of the people in this room, he is clearly the one on track for RVP next, and he's the only one still standing. And so what you all need to understand is I just gave it to you. I just really gave it. Congratulations, Kent. Well, we're going to hear from Angel and Kent today. So both of you we want 5 minutes of your best stuff on what it is to requalify and how you do that, all right? Just speak. Don't worry, it'll be later. You don't have to worry about it. Don't think about it. Don't be nervous about it. We'll let you know. What were you going to ask, Angel?
Oh, no, I was saying I'm going to beat Kent there. So.
Oh. I like your optimism. I like your optimism, but here's what the race is about. Financial independence.
Yeah.
It's not about RVP. Guys, let me tell you what. Some of you right now that didn't get to stand up, you could have something brewing behind the scenes that blows everybody away.
Yeah.
No one knows. You know.
Yeah.
You know the relationships you're building with somebody that is nurturing, caring relationship of a mentor coach. You know that. See, I know when I meet with Thomas, it's all about how do we get better? How do we do this together? He's got ideas that sometimes I go, well, I don't like, that's not my idea. I tried that, did that, and I go, and actually last night we were up at 1 o'clock drinking a bottle of wine, talking about, I don't like that, I like this, and then he convinced me. Usually convinces me. Okay, and I go, okay, you try it. We'll see how it works. You'll be the experiment. You're down there in Lakeland. I won't be anywhere near you. Let's see how that works. And if it works, we'll see the numbers and go, oh, great idea. Thomas is here. Okay. Like a lab rat. All right, now that's what I just did there. Do you guys get that little thing I just did?
Yeah.
Reproducer, producer. So step 1 is you got to be a producer. That was great. Step 2 is then you got to have somebody that does it without you. Step 3 is you got to get somebody who did it without you, train somebody to do it without them. That's the business. If you don't get anything else out of today, that's the business. And it's amazing. I go and I speak at fast start schools and I talk to people and I do conference calls and I'm on TV and I spoke at the convention and I'm always talking about this thing and we do our conference call in the morning and and a lot of times I'm talking about producer, reproducer. And then I don't know, I got off on what I'm going to talk to you about right now for like a week. In this business, what you'll find is there are things that really excite you and then you latch onto them and then you're like that. That's who you are, like, for a week or two. And then something else comes along, and whoa, look at this. and then you go back in your notes, and you go, oh, last week I was excited about this. I got 2 things I'm excited about. I've actually got 2 things I'm excited about right now. Producer, reproducer, which I forgot all about until this morning when I was looking at my notes. Okay, so that needs to be something that I write in my goals every day because I can't afford to forget about that conversation.
Yeah.
Can we afford to not have that? Thomas, is that a conversation that we can afford to have fall out of our thought process at any given moment? Suicide, right? That's a big one. You got it? What's it called? Producer?
Reproduce.
So how should you get promoted? You really shouldn't be a regional leader, in my opinion, until you're a reproducer. Promoting you to regional leader before you're a reproducer is dangerous to your financial health. Now, some of you were promoted without being a reproducer. That's okay, you're there. What is there to do? Quickly fix it. Quickly fix it. Because it's a building block. Okay, it is a key fundamental. We have 2 people in our office in Philly that were doing like 20,000 as divisions. 2020 as divisions. And we said, now we can promote you. And what they had is they wrote like 10,000. They were great writers, great producers. And they had some people on their team who could write. Okay, they had some producers. But we said, you don't have a reproducer. And if we promote you, you may not get a reproducer. So we're not going to promote you until you produce somebody who can produce somebody. So here's the deal. You're not going to regional until you got a division. And you're not going, now I don't have these in my guidelines, but I'm talking to you now about something. I'm getting ready to make some adjustments because this makes sense. You can't go to region. So watch this. If I'm a district, how do I go to division? I need to produce what? At least I need to produce a district, right? I need to replace myself, right? Then to go to division, I need to produce to division, I need a district. To go to regional, I need a what? I need a division. The division did what? Produce a district. And then it needs to be that I didn't produce the district for them. They produced it. They may have a district that I trained. Like if you come right now, you come in this business and move fast, your trainer's going to do all the work. You can move the division leader in our system, basically showing up positive, get licensed, and introduce your trainer to a lot of people, and you can be a division. But did you do it? Did you do the work? Do you know how to do the work? All right? And I think promotion should be based on a meritocracy, which means you did the work, you proved what you know, now you get the promotion. And it's only temporary that you didn't get the promotion. Now, if we don't promote you, here's what I always figured out. If you won't do this work on the way to vice president, you're not going to later do it as a vice president. Like if you're really a bad kid, you're just bad. Always in trouble. Somewhere along the way, if you aren't, what do they call, like put away in juvenile delinquency place, or you're not dealt with properly and taught, reprimanded, punished, what chance is there that you're just going to fix it all on your own later? How many of you know bad kids that never got caught and are really bad adults now? Any of you? And then you met some kids that were bad kids. They got fixed. They got in an environment. They got around the right kind of people. They changed their ways, and they went on to be successful people in society. Yes?
Yeah.
What if no one ever fixed it? Now, I know a guy who did it on his own. Okay, that's the exception. Thank you very much. Let's not talk about exceptions. Let's talk about the reality. If you're not going to do the work in the base shop to go from 50 to 60 to 70 to 130, remember that 500 and that 800? Can I ask a question? Is an $800 override exciting to anybody in this room?
Yeah.
So let's fight for that. Let's build a business that gives us that result. Let's build a business that when we get to vice president, we start enjoying the success of our work, and we are now a model of what we want other people to aspire to become. So when you're the example, and the great thing was Thomas did this. Thomas did exactly what I'm talking about. Aaron Fisher, who recruited Tom, I really recruited Thomas, but who introduced me to Thomas, he did this. He did it. Now, he was kicking and screaming at certain points, didn't like it. It's not easy, okay? But he did it. And now, as a result of it, he's got a John Conover that got promoted, who's a very successful vice president, and he's got a Daniel Santos who's getting ready to get promoted, who's going to be a very successful vice president. And we won't let any of those guys do shortcuts because we know after 38 years what the end of the story looks like. All right, is this making some sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's called producer-reproducer. That conversation's major, all right? Next thing. Now, this is just me reviewing what we're going to discuss. If you'll notice, I am severely ADD. I don't even know what these slides say, but we're doing okay. So far, we're an hour in. I've not used a slide. Okay? Because I live it. It's in me. Okay? I deal with it every day. Okay, ready? How about this one? Accountability, activity and accountability. We'll get to that one. We're going to talk about your appointment count. We're going to really we've got to get that before the day's over. We've got to talk about how are you going to have unlimited appointments? What's the method for you to have unlimited appointments? We're going to talk about the 4-point game plan right now. I'm going to start with that. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you the compensation plan so you really understand the blueprint of what it looks like if you do the work. So you got to know what the rewards will be if you do the work. Okay? So let me just stop here for 1 second. Any questions so far? Any questions, thoughts? Any ideas? Anything? Thomas, what are you hearing? Yes. Yes, Mitch.
Two quick questions, because you talked about a Series 6500 and a Series 6. Are those two different licenses?
Yes, so you're going to get the Series, you're going to get your life license, then you're going to get your Series 6 license. Then if you know people in other states, you're going to have to get your Series 63 license, because that's required to write. In most states, you need that license to write business if they live in another state. With insurance, you must be licensed in that other state. That's a non-resident. You take your license in your state, then you can get as many non-resident licenses as you want. You can write wherever you want. There's no territories. You can open offices wherever you want. I'm getting ready to open one in Sonoma, California right now. There's no territory, okay? And then you're going to get your 6. That's your mutual fund license. That lets you do mutual funds and the variable annuities, okay? Then you're going to get your 26. If you want to be a vice president, you must have your principal's license, which, by the way, congratulations to Dory, who got her principal license, 26 license. And as a result, now is in office with her partner Kiera and Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. Jeremy, stand up. This young man passed his Series 6 yesterday. With an 80. Don't let the hair fool you. Okay, so I'm so proud of him, and he's, we were going now. He's got a security over saying, "All right, Jeremy, what do you need to go full time?" By the way, this is another subject not on my sheet. Let's talk about it right now. Nothing good can happen long range part time. Well, if you're saving your money, good things can happen. If it's helping you live a better lifestyle part-time, good things can happen. I'm not about nothing good, meaning like unlimited passive income from a team in a business. You can build unlimited income through assets, through investments, through working part-time and saving all that money, or saving half of that money and having fun with the rest. So please don't misunderstand me, but the real deal happens for you once you have full-timers on your team. And you probably have to be full-time to get someone to go full-time, right? And you'd have to know what you're doing to quit your job, yes? Please, 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 please. Do not allow people to come full-time too soon if you know that that's a pending financial disaster for them if it doesn't work, okay? So many people hate their jobs and are so excited about Primerica, and they see this thing and they want to leave their job, that they really want out, and so they do it too soon. Now, I'm okay if you do it too soon if you have a spouse that works, right? I'm okay if you do it too soon if you got some money saved. I'm okay if you do it too soon if your budget's very low. I'm okay if you do it too soon if you live at home with mom and dad. So there are too soons that I'm okay with. And then there are too soons I'm not okay with. Because I'm not interested in the phone call that says, the electric got turned off, there's no food in the refrigerator anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The kids are crying. The chargebacks came and the people didn't. Get a job. Or buckle down, go to work, make some appointments. I can't fix that. You created that, okay? Have I had those calls? Yeah. Have I've made that call to my mom. I called my mom when I was new in the business. I said, Mom, I did that exact call. Oh. Son, I love you. I'll help you. I had help. So Dick wasn't worried about me because I had mommy. So you don't have mommy and daddy to help you, right? So you're a different situation, right? Y'all with me? We all got our own deal. We all got our own thing. So this is not a cookie cutter, absolute anything. This is relationships. This is you and somebody else locking arms and getting up in the morning and going after your goals and dreams with everything you got. You got to find a foxhole, buddy. They don't have to be on your team. They could be somebody in the office to start, but eventually they need to be on who? Your team. Your foxhole buddy needs to be like Thomas and I were. And I was here for what, 3 months that winter or 2 months? 2 months that winter, and we connected, and I think you're like really the last person I field trained. The last person I went out on appointments with was you and Chris Hill. And I've gone on a few others, but not someone I really trained, that I went out and I was the person who had to teach them what to do so that when I wasn't there, they could do it without me. And folks, that's what there is to do. All right. So, full time, you got to get full time. That ought to be your number one game plan right now. Let's go to some of these slides here. I want to shift. I want to talk about recruiting. Let's talk about some of the conversations you've got to master. All right. By the way, were there any other questions? I know Mitch had one. There was another one you said. So Mitch, you're going to get your, I get it. 26 is your principal, right? You have to have that to be a vice president. You have to have that to open an office. If you have an office without a 26, you need to close the office. It's not an office. You're not allowed to conduct business there. You could train some people there because it's just a space. But it can't say Primerica on the door. Okay, y'all understand that? Okay? And that's not a joke, by the way. That's not like, oh, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. No. This is real stuff. Okay? Real laws and real people called FINRA. Okay? All right? State insurance departments. They're real. Don't play games with your career. We're compliant, 100%. That's how you do it. If you just take the attitude, if it's not right, look, it's like I keep hearing about. I love this as I'm building. I hear about. Oh, well, he tells fibs every once in a while. Every once in a while, what he says isn't true. That's a failure waiting to happen. Like, what do you mean? Well, like, just little fibs, little lies, little things that aren't true. Like, they say one thing, and then you find out that's not exactly how it is. And then when you ask them about it, they go, oh, no, that's how it is. But then they confirm they lied. Then they get caught. You find out it was a lie. You go, I don't know if I like that person anymore. They lied. If they lied once, maybe they'll lie twice. I'm trying to bet my life on a liar? I don't think so. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
I probably can't say anything more important than I just said. Yeah. This is a business of trust. The fact of the matter is we're all human beings and we're going to make mistakes, right? But there's certain mistakes we don't need to make. Right? Now, if you do enough good stuff and then you make a mistake, people will forgive. But if you make as many mistakes as you do good things, that equals out to the bad. So you've got to learn how to get positive deposits, do lots of good things. So when you screw up, they'll forgive you quicker. Okay? Because you're going to need to learn to say, I'm sorry. I see your point of view. And you're going to need to learn to say that when you don't see their point of view. Or you'll just, when they quit, you'll wonder why. You all got that? That's advanced. For those of you that are guests, that's advanced training right there. Okay? I think that's called life, isn't it? Okay? This is how our relationships go in life. Primerica is a mirror of life. Primerica will sort people out very quickly. And the great thing is it's also a training ground to keep getting better. And if you use this as a training ground, it's going to affect the relationships with your kids and your spouse and your friends and your siblings and your parents. It's going to ripple through every part of your life as you learn and get better. That's what life's about. Personal growth and self-improvement is not optional if you want to be successful. It's not optional. The one thing I know about everybody that I know that's super successful, they're on a continual journey to get better. One step after another. It's like, how do I get better? How do I do it better? How do I relate better? How do I communicate better? How do I love my family better? How do I get better spiritually? How do I get better physically? How can I get better? Because people that are getting better, are they not attractive to other people? Like if you see somebody that's a role model and you know they're striving to get better and they're working and they're getting success, isn't it cool to be affiliated with them and associated? Sure. Well, you have to become that so people want to be around you. And by the way, it doesn't happen overnight. So you go, oh my God, sounds like a lot of work. Yeah. And then there's a lot of reward. like $103,000 of reward this month. $8,000 hit last night. You know, where'd you come? I don't know where it came from. I looked, it said security something, $4,000, insurance something. It said Vivint something. It said PLPP something. They said it. I didn't do any of it. I can tell you that. I did it. I didn't do it, right? So all the stuff I'm sharing with you from my heart right now, I'm just, and I, you know, I got the stage, so I get to talk about this stuff. This is it. This is it to me. If you get some of this stuff and you leave here and take this out to the world, and you just start having these conversations with people. I want to win. I want to be successful. I'm going to do something great. I'm looking for people who want to do it with me. I'm about making a difference in the world. I'm about changing my family tree. I got dreams and goals that are important. Do you? Are you in? Do you want to try? And do you understand that's recruiting?
Right.
It's not like, let me tell you about the corporation PRI. The assets and the liabilities. Let me tell you all about this amazing fund I found at Alliance Bernstein. Come on. Let's call it financial advisors. That's what advisors do.
Right.
Business owners are visionaries. Business owners are saying, how do I get big? How do I use this Primerica thing for me? That's what you ought to be asking yourself. How do I take it, use it for me and my family, for my net worth, for my dreams and goals? The place was built for us to use it for us. That's why it was built, right? Let's look at this thing. Simple 4-point. Actually, I'm going to go ahead for a moment. I'm going to show you something. All right, so I'm going to okay, so watch this. So I'm going to do this. This is the basics of everything we're going to cover today. Everything, actually, that we're going to cover, everything I've covered, everything we're talking about really has to be simplified so that every morning when you wake up, you've got a simple game plan, a process that you can look at and go, okay, check this off, check this off, check this off. Okay, I'm on track. So if you put a train on a railroad track, the train goes where the track goes, right?
Right.
So someone got to say, here's where the track is going. And then it's already predetermined. They're not building the track as the trains go, oh, quick, let's figure this. No, the destination has already been designed. So now we put the train on the track, and now, boom, it just goes right down. It's smooth and simple, right to the destination. So this is the track. You're the train. You're either on it or you're not. Now, the great news is if you derail, they can put you back on the track. Yeah. Whatever happened, happened. It doesn't matter. That's over. You all notice that what happened is over. Mm-hmm. Some of you, it's not over. If you were born and somehow when you were born we put red contact lenses or red lenses in your eye, and then they put red in my eye, they put blue in your eye. So everything you look at is what? Red. Everything I look at is red, and everything you look at is blue. If we're looking at the exact same thing, and it's red to me and it's blue to you, could it be that the filter is making it that?
Yeah.
That's called our past. So we all come to today with a past, which is our filter. It's our beliefs. It's what we know to be true. It's our upbringing. It's whether we're confident or not. It's all built in. We tell little fibs. That probably developed at a very young age and no one corrected you. Okay? I remember when I was a kid, I stole something from Tommy's Hardware. It was like one of those little planes that you guys, I don't even think they make them anymore, the little rubber bands, you fly them.
Yeah.
And I got home with it, and my mom saw it, and she said, where'd you get that? And she found out where I got it. She took me right then and there back to Tommy's Hardware. She said, you go up to Mr. Tommy, and you tell him what you did. Okay, and I did that. And I learned that was not a good thing to take things anymore, because if I didn't like that. I didn't like that whole thing. I just wasn't going to do that anymore, please. I used to tell little fibs, little lies, and my mom would catch me. She said that she didn't let me do that. I got punished for that. So if you do things wrong and you don't get punished for it, you got a filter called I do things wrong. Okay, now, how do we redo the filter? You got to get in a place where people correct your wrong things. We have someone who cares about you enough to tell you, that's not going to work. That won't work. Right? Isn't that what a coach does? My fitness coach, I do 2 sets, and I go, oh boy, maybe she's only going to have me do 2 sets. And she says, okay, do it again. 20 more. 20, is this the last? I go, is this the last one? No, this is the 3rd. There's a 4th. She said, don't worry, you want abs, right? You want to be strong. You want to be lean. You want to be fit. Isn't that what you told me? You want to hit a golf ball further when you're old. Did you tell me that? Yeah, I told you. 25 more push-ups. Y'all got it? Yes. So I hired her to do it. You know what you did when you joined here? You hired us to help you become successful. And the good news is we can't be successful unless what? You're successful. So we have nothing but a financial interest in your well-being. And I'm telling you, as I look back at how I learned the business from Dick Walker, who was my coach, he was my mentor, he was like my parent, he's like my dad to me, is we built it on this thing called the 4-point game plan. It didn't say all these words exactly, but this is what it was. And number one, the focus was every day when we walked in that office, the number one top priority in the office was recruiting. Okay? So here's what we have to look at. Why recruiting? So why recruiting? Okay? And we're going to get to that. I'm going to really share that with you because you got to get that recruiting is the solution to the biggest problem most of us have. And that I'm going to give it to you now. It's called the lack of passive income. The lack of passive income. We're going to talk about the word passive income. How many of you, just by show of hands, before Primerica, you knew what the word passive income was? Raise your hand before Primerica. So there's some of you that knew what passive is. How many of you, honestly, if you heard the word passive income, you're not really sure, you know you wouldn't have been sure what that was. It was something new. Okay. Just know that most people in the world don't know what passive income is. No one's talked to them about it. It's not a conversation. Anybody that's, now those of you, I'm curious, those of you that knew the word passive income, how many of you before Primerica had read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And that's where you learned about the word passive income. Or you were in network marketing and you learned about passive income. Or you knew of somebody who was a trust fund kid who seemed to just get a check every month. And you know, oh, that's passive income. The kid doesn't do anything, but the money keeps coming. Okay? Or someone who built a business and they are at the golf course at noon every day. Or they're at all the kids' sporting, and they coach all the kids' sporting events. And people go, what's he do? Oh, he owns a business. Oh, and then passive income means you don't have to be there or she doesn't have to be there and the money comes in, right? Passive income. Passive income is very important. It's very important that you learn to get comfortable with this subject and that you learn to talk about it. That's what I want to get across to all of you today, more than anything. So recruiting is the number one focus, and the recruiting is the number one focus because unless you have a big pile of money or real estate generating this passive income for you, if you don't have that, there's only one other source that we know of. It's called a business creating it for you. Two sources of, this is on my slides, but I hit it with you. How many of you would like to be financially independent? Okay. Do you think I already knew the answer to that before I asked the question?
Yes.
But what did I do? I asked the question anyway. How many of you would like to have more time to do the things you want to do? Do you think I already knew that? How many of you would like the freedom to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it? I think I already knew the answer to that. How many of you would like to make a difference in other people's lives and really contribute? How many of you would like to, at some point when you pass, you left a legacy where people are talking about how great you were and what you did to help people make a difference, right? I already knew all that. Okay, that's what you should be selling. That's what you should be marketing. That should be the conversation. Because here's what we know. Everybody wants that stuff. And if they don't want it, you don't need to be around them very long. Be nice to them. But what good are they going to do you if they don't want those things? So wouldn't you like to align with people that are already aligned now? So, but by the way, most people aren't walking around going to work every day. Man, I want to be free. I want to leave a legacy. Man, I need more money. Actually, they're saying that. Kind of like my boss told me I can't have off. I want to go to my kid's soccer game and I can't. Are people saying that stuff? Yeah. So they all want this stuff. So you got to understand that's what we market. So if recruiting's the number one focus, and the only way you can get financial independence is through passive income, and passive income only comes two ways. It comes with money at work or assets, real estate. Like I use this example all the time because I want people to understand our way of accumulating money in mutual funds is not the only way to get passive income. You could be buying real estate or have property that is owned and that is rented, and it generates passive income. Mm-hmm. My wife's stepdad owns farmland that was passed on to him from his dad in Plainfield, Illinois, 780 acres outside of Chicago that could be sold to builders, but he likes to rent it to his farming buddies for pennies on the dollar of what it could be worth because he just likes the land. He likes having it. That money is coming in. It's rental income. It just comes in. He likes it. It's secure. It makes him happy. He's got passive income. And he's also got CDs. He's also got annuities. He's also got Franklin Income Fund. He's got other things. He's got many sources of passive income. You all understand? We should all have goals to do that. Have diversified passive income from our investment portfolio. Yes? Yes. So who do you think would be interested in having enough money where they don't have to work anymore? There's another one. That would be a cool thing to talk about if everybody's interested in it. Well, I'm not experienced. You don't have to be. I have said no fancy words here. There is nothing complicated about this conversation. Is there? No. That's what's really scary. Like Thomas, the hardest thing about this for me is for all of you is that once we're done today, your excuses are done. Yeah. True. Now you can use them. You can try to use them. Some people actually take them. Listen to them. Oh. Hold hands and pray. Or, I'm not demeaning that. I'm just saying, a lot of people, that's the solution. No, the solution is go to work. The solution is get better. Keep praying and get better. Right? Let's get better. Let's grow. Let's learn. Here's the point. The excuse, once someone sees Primerica, they never get to say, I never had my shot. I just had a shot. Just one time. That one's gone. So that's like the good news is you got a shot. The bad news is you can't use I never had a shot. Now, do you think I say that when I'm recruiting people? Yeah. Yes, I do. And it's easier to say in a group than like if I was just talking to you and I said, now, Kiara, once we met, you're not ever going to be able to say I never had a shot. That's over. I could say that. Now, a good recruiter would do that. Well, that's confronting. Good recruiters are confronting. So you have a life insurance license. You'll understand. How many of you have a life insurance license? You understand the conversation that goes with that license is, what's going to happen to your family if you die? Oh, that's confronting. That's why a lot of people don't want to get an insurance license. I don't like to ask that question. There's nothing exciting to me to look somebody across and say, you know, if you die, we learn how to clean that up. I had a friend of mine, his name was King Kaufman. He had the greatest line. He would say, so let's just say the angel Gabriel came and took you away tonight. Same exact question as, what's going to happen if you die? Same question, but he found a way to clean it up where he was happy. Right? Y'all got that? No, that was his clothes. Now listen, here's what's funny about it. My brother-in-law, who is French, he's from France, is a waiter in Southern California, in LA, and my sister-in-law, they're there, and I recruit them into Primerica, and I I referred them to Mike Sharp. They were in Mike Sharp's base shop. This is 1983. Okay, it's a long time. And they're in my and Mike didn't work with them because he was from France. He knew nobody, and she was from Florida, New York. She knew nobody. So he puts them with King Kaufman. King Kaufman did his trainings on Saturday morning in his garage. In a garage, he converted into an office, and that's where they would go for their training on Saturday morning. And one day they were doing the training, and the angel Gabriel close was the conversation. That was it. And my brother-in-law calls me, and he says, Johnny, who is this angel Gabriel character? I never hear you speak of him. I said, well, tell me the context. And so he told me the close, and I never forgot it, because it's the question, what's going to happen to your family if you die? And is it important to you to make sure they're protected if, in fact, you die prematurely? You can ask it a lot of different ways. You can clean it up. But the bottom line is, God forbid, you don't come home tomorrow because you died prematurely. What's going to happen to your family? Where's the money coming from to raise the kids? Is that important to you? Folks, I got to tell you, that's a conversation that if you want to make money with your license, you're going to have to learn to ask it. Now, we make it nice and easy. We got these sheets and these forms, and you can actually read it and look down if you wanted. So if you died prematurely, how much is the minimum amount of income your family would need monthly? Probably not as effective, but it's a good start. Right? So what is this Primerica thing? It's a couple conversations. You're a couple stories away from being successful. That's it. Like, any of you like to tell jokes?
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thing. It's just not a joke at the end. It's like, the punchline is, give me your money. See? That there, live stream. Looks like it went off. Okay, here we go. Where'd the camera go?
I filled up my data. So.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Whose face is this? Hi.
Okay.
All right. So everyone goes. So that's number one, folks. Number two, everybody goes to the Money and Business Seminar. Now, let's just clarify this. Do you guys run Money and Business Seminars?
Yes.
Okay. Some people don't run Money and Business Seminars. That doesn't matter. It's an orientation. It's an expansion meeting. It's a Money and Business Seminar. It's an opportunity meeting. It's a business briefing. It's a corporate overview. It's an interview. There's a zillion names for it. I changed it to Money and Business Seminar after I heard Jimmy Meyer use that phrase. So he said it, and then I stole it. Now this is a key. Remember, like in school, if you copied, that was bad? Here, it's good. Here, plagiarism, perfect. We're going to give you a manual later. He found it on the internet. We are going to give it to you in its raw form today, which is almost perfect right now. It's 147 pages of just pure gems. It's like the best stuff ever put together in one package that you could give somebody who wanted to learn how to do this business in every aspect in a 147-page manual. Every script, every explanation of how different insurances work, how to close, how to get referrals, how to recruit, how to ask the questions, how to overcome every objection. It's like unbelievable, right? Is it not? He found it. And by the way, we found we can only source it to the state of Wisconsin. We do not know where it's from. We do not know who gathered the information. Okay? But we will take that. I've already got my brain working on how do I make this Lavin. I'm stealing this. I'm improving it, stealing it, and I'm going to produce it. The only people who know that it's not mine is The only people that will know that it's not mine originally are the new people that aren't even in the business yet. Everybody that's in will know it's not mine. Why am I going to do that? Because that's the way this place works. Primerica is a place where you can go and get whatever you need to get to win. People will share it freely with you. They will give they'll give their intelligence away to you. So you have to just be smart enough to show up here on a Saturday morning. And I know there's some people that were not able to be here because of whatever, and that's okay. But there are many people that could have been here that are not. Yes?
Yes.
It's fine. That's a choice they made. Those choices add up to a result. Okay? And your choices will add up to a result. Okay? And then there are people that couldn't be here that really want to be here that are on live stream right now or on Facebook Live, or we'll watch it later. And that's that. But you can steal the information. All right? So everybody goes to the Money and Business Seminar. What's the Money and Business Seminar about? Money and business. No, but what's it about?
Money and business.
You'll come, you'll learn about money and business. And then if you don't like it, you know what? You can leave. And if you like it, you'll know more about money and more about business, and maybe you'll make some more money and you'll have a business. Maybe not, if you qualify. And I know the guy pretty good, and I can put a good word in for you. And it's what night? Tuesday. What time? 7. Show up a little early, dress sharp, don't embarrass me. Don't ask any stupid questions. They like me down there. Might want to get a haircut. You might want to take your earrings out. You might want to shine your shoes. Please cut your nails. Look like something, please. They like me. Now, you may not want to say that to certain people because, quite honestly, that stuff doesn't really matter because people change and grow, and it's what's on the inside, not what's on the outside. Really. I have had many. I had a guy come into my office. He had earrings on every freaking lobe. Now, I'm 60, so I'm not used to earrings. I used to have a hard time with it. I have no problem with earrings. Now, tongue rings, I still have a problem with tongue rings. I can't imagine my financial advisor with a tongue ring. Something about that. It's not even called a ring. What is it called? Ball. It's like a ball. It's like in their tongue. I don't understand. I know it has something to do with sex, I think. I'm not interested in my financial advisor. I don't think I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I haven't seen anybody here that's got one. I think I'm okay. But if you do, just keep your. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I'm leaving at 2. No, look, I'm trying to help you. Okay, I'm just trying to be real, right? Okay, if I screw up, I screw up. I slipped that in. Some of you are, oh, good, you said it good. Now I don't have to say it. That's one of the cool things in Primerica. Like, you can have something that's really bothering you with one of your people, and you don't know how to tell them because you're not experienced enough yet to actually get away with it. So you can go to your RVP. I got a problem. I don't know how to tell them. Your RVP goes, don't worry, I'll handle it in the meeting. And sit there. That's part of the system. Part of the system. Here's another part of the system. Here's one. I'm going to give you another one. Part of the system. Ready? Some of you are not going to like this. Some of you are going to love this. Like, if you got kids and you got a spouse and they're dependent on your money every month to eat and live, and you work here and you're healthy and you don't own our life insurance, you will fail. Right? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ifs. So there's a lot of asterisks in that. A lot of out clauses in that statement. But did you all hear it?
Yeah.
I didn't say, if you work here and you don't own our product, you will fail. I did not say that. I said, if you need it and if you qualify for it, you need to what? Own it. Okay? Just like if you would like to retire someday and be prepared for emergencies, you should have a money market and a wealth builder account. And you can start them with $20, $50, $25 in each. And if you go, I can't afford it, then you can't afford not to have it. You know, Jeremy, we were talking yesterday about his budget, and what was so great in his budget, he says, And I got my $50 going into my mutual fund. I need that. And I need this for my grandma. And he's going through all the things, all his responsibilities. Something he was doing. This is $30 for my insurance protection. And I'm sitting there going, oh, he's got it. He gets it. Because if he didn't, I said, hey, what's going on here with your own plan? And now, what did I just do there? For those of you that have people in the room who qualify and need it, who don't own it, did I now just make your conversation with them a little easier?
Yeah.
In fact, they should just bring it up to you. So when it's done, you should just go up to your child. Oh, I was guilty. Write me up. Write me up. Now, that's part of it. Hey, look, here's what I'm telling you. That's part of our system. 38 years I've been sitting in meetings where people have been saying that to my people. 38 years I've been having people tell my people what they should do that I didn't have to tell them. I said, this is really cool. I don't have to do it all. I can just get them in the room. If I get them in the room with the right people, now if you get them in the room with the wrong people, like I might be for some of you the wrong, but somebody like, this guy is just off the charts. He's nuts. You know, it's not, sorry, I blew it for you. But for the most part, people are pretty entertained and they learn. I do know what I'm doing. And the reason I have any kind of credibility at all is I make $100,000 a month. No, really, the guy's, he's a little weird, but he's got to do something. If I could just figure out the stuff I like and get it, and get rid of the stuff I don't like, I won't have to use that, but I'll take the good stuff. I'm going to go use that to make my family successful. Right? Y'all with me?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of Primerica. You don't have to like everything. You find the things you like and you use them.
That's a lot
You
of
steal
credibility.
them. Pardon?
It's a lot of credibility.
And then I can prove it with 1099s. And it's printed. It's not a bunch of BS. There's a lot of people that say, oh, I make this. Yeah, show me. Oh, well, that's really none of your business. Private. No, it's you got the 1099 or you don't. Okay? So you got to steal stuff. Y'all got that? Plagiarism. It works. Everybody goes through the money and business sector. How do you get back to the subject? Right? Watch this. Look at this part 3. I actually just covered it, didn't I?
Yes.
I covered it before I read it. It's so ingrained in me. So if I hadn't just had that whole conversation about you owning the product, you know when I would have had it? When I got to number 3. What? Isn't that cool? That means if you actually take this on as your strategy, as your track, then you're automatically setting up the thing to work. It's called internal consumption. Owning the plan is really a cool thing for recruiters, because recruiters want to talk about dreams and goals. They don't want to talk if you die too soon. They want to let the guy in the front of the room say that stuff. So you can actually take the stuff you like and position yourself to never talk about the stuff you don't like. You can take the stuff you're really good at and really get good at it and let the other people be good at what they're good at. So I'm a really good teacher of fundamentals. That's what I do. I don't have a bunch of motivational speeches. None, actually. 0. Because most people in Primerica have books full of motivational speeches. So I don't need to have any because it's covered by them. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
So I go to a meeting. I don't worry about trying to come up with something new and fancy. I found the easiest way to do this business is just talk about what I do every day. Talk about what I've done. Talk about how I've trained people. I don't ever have to really come up with a whole bunch of scripts and stuff because I've lived it. I'm going to tell you that's the best way to build your business. Live it, be an example of it, and teach others what you're doing. Okay? So everybody does their own FNA. Everybody gets a plan. Now, FNA, financial needs analysis. Let me handle this. There's long FNAs that are very, very, very valuable tools. Very valuable. Every one of you should run a long one. For yourselves, you're in the business. There are mobile FNAs that cover 2 things, dying too soon and living too long. Actually, dying too soon and living long. I don't know how you live too long. Well, I guess you'd live too long if you ran out of money and you were unhealthy. And that's too long, right?
Yes.
But so we're just going to live long, and not run out of money. So if you die, what's your family need? If you live, what do you need? And if you accumulate what you need, then you don't need the insurance anymore, because if you die, they get what you needed, which will be enough for them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's our business. That's what we do. We protect you until you've accumulated enough money to protect yourself. That's it. You rent the insurance until you can own a pile of money. All right? You know how the whole life agents, how its term is like renting? Okay. Fine. I'll rent. It's cheap. I'll rent. And I'll build my assets somewhere else. Okay?
That's what you can have.
And I'll build these assets up where if I die, my family gets the assets and they live off the assets. They're fine. I'm self-insured. Why would I pay for insurance when I'm already self-insured? Why would you buy car insurance on a car you don't own?
Right.
So if you need the insurance, you buy it. If you don't need it, you don't buy it, right? Some people go, oh, well, there's estate taxes. Yeah, for everybody with over $11.5 million, as the tax law sits today, there's something called an estate tax, owed when the spouse dies. So if I am married and I die, Patty gets it all, no estate tax. She dies and the kids get it. Everything over $11.5 million is going to be taxed at 50%, 40 to 50%. Everybody who's got over $11.5 million should start thinking about possibly having insurance to the day they die. Now listen, I just actually said to you there is a place for permanent life insurance. Did you all hear it?
Yeah.
Now you can go to a lot of meetings where people are, oh, whole life is a ripoff. There's never a place for it. It's a screw job. Those people are like, their head is in the sand. That's not true. Let me make my point. Let's say you had $21 million. Let's just make it easy. Let's say 10 million was the number and you got 20. And now you die. And now the government wants the tax. Let's say it's 40% on 10 million. How much is that?
4 million.
4 million. They want that. You know when they want that? In 9 months. 4 million in 9 months. Now, if you've got the 10 million in buildings and in land, then what do you got to do to get the 4 million? Sell it. Sell it or get a more, like there's a problem. And then you got to give 4 million. But for probably about 50 grand, you could buy $4 million worth of permanent insurance. Okay, you all got that? How many of you would like to sell a $50,000 a year premium? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
If there was a need, if it was appropriate, if it was accurate. Now, by the way, let's just go back for a minute. How many people do you think in this country have over 10 million or 11 million?
Less than 1%.
So now we're at 1%. So the entire industry has concocted a product that they sell to the masses that might have a place for 1%. That's what's really going on.
Yeah.
So that's the conversation I have with you if you sell life insurance. If you're in the life insurance business, I just gave you my conversation with you. You can't then say, oh, you Primerica people are just a bunch of robots out there and you don't even understand estate planning. Oh, we understand very clearly. What we also understand is you try to sell that product to everybody. You try to convince everybody that they're not smart enough to save any money on their own. That they're financial jellyfish and they have no way of holding on to any money on their own. Like they don't even have the ability to tell their company to take it out of their paycheck before they get it. Like you actually believe, whole life agents, that human beings cannot set up payroll deductions or automatic bank drafts. What is that, ridiculous? What are you, from the 50s? Yes. They didn't have automatic payroll deductions and bank drafts in the 50s and 60s when those products were being sold. These guys are crazy what they do. And people buy it and they like it and you need them and you can't even understand it. You've got to be able to break it down. You got to know. That manual's got every bit of this in there. All right? Wouldn't it be cool to do that? Thomas was telling me he was doing an F&A on somebody. I'm not going to really get into the details, but as they did the F&A, he was like blown away by the success of this person. Okay? And it was just amazing. Without that, he would never have known. You would never known. There's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. Great book. About how regular, normal people have accumulated millions of dollars because they did the right things with their money. Folks, that's all we're talking about. And then, so everybody does their F&A. That rewards the recruiter. And then number 4, you sprint the new recruit to district. You race the new recruit to district. You race to a fast start. You sprint out of the gate. You give it everything you got. Why? It sets you up. It sets up the story. Now, some of you are going, well, I didn't start fast. That's the past. You now are running this play. This is what you do with new people. Here's the reality. Not everyone's going to go fast. As a matter of fact, most won't go fast. As a matter of fact, if you recruit 4, 1 will quit right after you hit send. Send, quit. Where'd they go? Here's where they went. They went home. And since you didn't prepare them for what was going to happen at home, they quit. Did you get that?
Yeah.
So whose fault was it that they quit? You probably participated in the problem by not handling the objection before it occurred. Look, I've recruited people, greatest meeting, we're going to do this, this is the greatest thing, and then they leave, never to be seen again. Never to return my call. We were going to be rich, and now gone. When I started in the business, there was no such thing as caller ID. So when you called your recruit, they actually picked up the phone. You guys, we do not have that luxury today. They know you're calling. Now, some of you are fancy, and you've got a Google number.
Oh, wow.
How about this? Some of you have found other phone numbers to call because they don't know it's you. Brilliant, brilliant. No, you think I'm kidding. Some people, like, let's say you call, and it's a number they don't know. How many of you done this? You get a call, you don't know, you go, I'm not answering, I don't know. Then they call back. They don't leave a message. Then it comes again. And you go, I don't know who that is. I'm not taking that. Wonder who it is. Then they call again. You go, who is this? Hello? And you pick up. That's a trick. You should learn that. Don't give up on people. How many of you tried to quit? You're here now, but you at some point said, I'm quitting. Anybody? I'm leaving. I'm not doing this anymore. I did. The day after I get in, I quit. Like 2 days after I got in, I quit. But there was no caller ID, so when I picked up the phone and my manager says, "Where were you? You weren't at the meeting." I said, "Well, I decided this isn't for me. I've been thinking." This is the start of it. I've been thinking. That's the start of the conversation.
Yeah, I've been thinking.
I love Otto. He says, "What does that look like? Did you go in like home and stand in your backyard naked and ponder?" It's Otto, right? What does that look like? I was thinking. Okay, so you got to be. You know what you need to do with some people? You need to go knock at their door.
Yes.
Oh, there's the Primerica stalkers in the parking lot. Hey, someone got a hold of him. This guy, a whole life agent. Someone got a hold of him. A broke brother-in-law. Someone got a hold of him. A person who put their 99 in and was in an office with someone who wasn't honorable with them, who then gets on the internet, blogs all night about the Primerica thing, and they read that, and then they think that's true.
Yeah.
Okay? So what do you have to do? You got to bring all this up before that stuff happens. You gotta learn how to have a conversation with somebody before they leave you. As I say, listen, by the way, if you go Google Primerica, you're going to read a lot of great things, but you could read some stuff that's not true as well. Like if you Google God, you're going to read great things. You could read some things that aren't true. If you Google Disney World, you're going to read great things and things that aren't true. You right? Anything. What is the Google? The internet is an unregulated world, right? So if you want to do real research, here's where you do your real research, and you give them the place to go. Primerica.com right now is awesome. They have fixed it. Thomas and I actually were part of them fixing it. Once again, what can we do to get better? They're saying to millennials, what can we do to get better? Everything's on the phone. Everything. Have you guys gone into your app lately and push sprint to district? There's like, you could get fired from work with this app. It's very dangerous. Be careful. You get lost in this phone. They say that the millennials look at their phone, or the average human being, I think a millennial probably more, 150 times a day.
No.
Yes. This guy, I think it's more. I think I look at it more. I think I look at my phone more than 150 times. I went to Apple. I said, this battery is not working correctly. And they said, well, let us put it on our device. And they put it on there. So this battery's working perfectly. I said, how in the world could I be at 20%? I've been talking here for 2 hours. What did I do from 7 a.m. till now that I'm already at 20%? 8. I'm looking at it more than 150 times already probably today. So here's what our company said. If people are going to look at the thing, why don't we have them look at it and have Primerica be at them? Let them look at the leaders bulletin. Let them look at the Engage for 90 score. Let them look at the video. Let them look at the training. Let them look at the leaders bulletin. Let them look at the fight club. You know, right?
Yeah.
So here's what you can do. You can either embrace it and use it to grow a business. How many of you look at your Primerica app, at least, let's say, once a day? Anybody? Great. I would prefer you to do it more if possible. If you, I don't even know, here's one. Watch this one. I don't know what a Primerica app is. Don't say that. Don't say that. Just keep that a secret. Go to your upline leader and go, why did he say Primerica app? And I don't know what that is. What did you tell me? By the way, you got to get really good at saying things like, I'm sorry. Here's what you can do. I don't know about the Primerica. Well, I told you about it. Oh, that's a real good way to deal with it. See how long they show up. Now, what's that sound like? A boss. Here's, I didn't know about the Primerica app. Your brain goes, I told him about it. Oh, no problem. I'm sorry. If I didn't make it, because this is really an awesome app. And explain the app. Here, get your phone out. You download it. While your voice is going, I told this guy about it 7 times. They all get this? That's insincere. No, it's called business. Maybe because I was nice, he invites somebody to the meeting before he quits. That wasn't nice. What do you mean? You insinuated he's going to quit. Yeah, that's how it works. Most people quit. Most people quit at everything. Doesn't mean you have to. I remember when someone said, most people, you're probably going to quit. I said, I'm not quitting. Then I quit. I did. I quit. I was making $300,000 when I quit. I quit in 1990. Yeah, when you were born, I quit. I got mad. I took my football and went and played a different game, and then got the crap kicked out of me and said, "Please let me back on the field." And I came back. That's real. That's a real story. So in fact, I'm the only guy in the company that ever made that kind of money, left and came back and won. No one else. I am the only guy in the company that got on the Wall of Fame, quit. They took me off the Wall of Fame. They put my picture in a closet somewhere. I'm still trying to find that original picture. And then I got on the Wall of Fame again. Okay? So what I'm talking to you all about, this crap works. It's not some theory I'm giving you. It's like real stuff, like you're in, you're out, I work, I don't work, it's really quite simple. Look at this. You bring a new person in, you race them to district. What do they have to do to be a district? Three recruits. So if I race you to district, and we have 3 recruits, and you're not licensed and trained yet, watch. I don't have anywhere to go. Race someone to district. Focus on recruiting. Hey, you keep your options open when it comes to making money? Like, learn that line. You'll hear that one? Yeah. Want to hear the greatest recruiting line ever? Hey, you'd be great in my business. It's like, I never said, hey, you'd be great in my business. And no one ever said, thanks. You'd be great in my business. Oh, thanks. What business? Oh, I'm glad you asked. No. Let me tell you about it. It's unbelievable. You'd be so good. You have such a great personality. I'm watching the way you're dealing with people. hey, do you keep your options open when it comes to making more money? That's the second part of it. Do you keep your options open? Do you plan to be a waiter here at Crackle Barrel for the rest of your life? Questions like this. And if the guy goes, I actually do, I love it here. I'm on a management track.
I've heard that.
Let me ask you a question about that track. How much does the manager make? And will you be happy when you get there? Well, no, I never really thought about it that way. Well, when you get there, where you're going in that company, when you get there, will you be happy? Well, no, I won't be. Well, then would you like to develop an option on the side in case it doesn't work out? Now, that book, by the way, we're going to give you, has got like 50 of these lines. Okay? You can go on SoundCloud right now and say, I got to get better at this. Recruiting is the number one focus. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to have to start talking to some people I don't know. Because all the people I know, they stopped answering. I kind of got a dilemma. And you know what I was saying when I was talking to them, and I didn't listen to my manager who said, let me do it for you. I went through up all over them, told them the op meeting. The guy said, what do you do? It's like, what time is it? Well, before I answer, let me tell you how this watch is made. This is an amazing watch. Just feel the weight. No, I just want to know the time. What do you do? Well, we help people with their money. But let me tell you more about it. I don't even know how yet, but I'm going to tell you about it. Then they stop answering your call. Oh, you in that Prime America thing? Oh, how you doing? Prime America. You're hearing this. You created that. You created that. So stop abusing yourself. Go talk to somebody else. Try again. How many million people are there in this country?
300.
300 million. There's at least 299.9999 more people you can ask the question to. So you're going to learn to prospect, and then everybody's going to go through the seminar. That's where the experts get to tell your people the story you don't know how to tell yet. And if you're really smart, you'll sit in that meeting a lot. You'll record it, and you'll memorize it. When no one's watching, you'll memorize it. And then you'll be able to do it better. Then you'll go, at one day, you'll go, I could do this better than my vice president. And you won't tell your vice president. You'll just start doing it. And you'll start getting results. All of a sudden, you'll just start getting results. And then everybody's going to want to know what you're doing. That's the day it all gets fun. Angel's going to start. It's going to start. They're going to start soon. If you do this again, not if, when you do it again, because you're going to Hawaii, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you decided you're going to Hawaii?
Oh, yeah, I'm there.
It's going to be an amazingly hard battle. I'm going to tell you what. But everybody that I ever met that actually made the decision to win the trip and then went and did the work to win the trip won big. They won big. They actually became vice presidents. They make money. They get other people to win the trip. They actually win the trip, the little contest, the little requalifying thing. 3 by 2,500, you requalified. You get moved from the wherever you are to the bottom of the top. You're in. Isn't that again? Aren't they resetting again? Did they reset again? Now this month, what do you have to do this month? This month, one recruit before the 16th gets you, how many? 50,000. If you get one recruit after the 15th, you only get 25,000 points. What's this have to do with where to go? It's the number one focus. They're even giving you points if you do it. Giving you promotions if you do it. Giving you bonuses if you do it. And if I recruit you and we get 3 recruits for you and you're not trained, then I have 3 more people that I'm going to do what with? Training. It wants a password. I have to make sure you're watching this all day. Thomas, have we gotten any of the slides yet? Refine.
Yeah, one.
One. Maybe that's because that's all that's important today. Okay? Now, there is more important thing, but I just want you to get it. I recruit you. We get 3 recruits. I'm now their trainer. Am I not?
Yeah.
Do some of them, now you might quit, maybe you wouldn't, but let's just say you're the one who quits. And you need to get licensed first. And you are coachable, and you say, no, I want to be a district. Sprint out with the bonus. I want to be a trainer. I want to do this. I need this. So, okay, now, so we're nice to you guys. I tried to call you. You didn't answer. You get licensed. We'll help you later. Bring some people. Let me know if you know anybody. You know anybody while you're getting licensed, I'll help you. Be nice. So don't you try to convince them not to? Well, if they're going to sit in the meeting where we cover this every week, they'll get it or not. The problem with the person who wants to get licensed is they can't come to the meeting. The meetings are hard for me. I want to do this. I'm going to be successful. Can't come to the meeting. Those things don't go together.
Yeah.
How many meetings do you guys have a week?
2.
2. Okay. Do you know what don't take this wrong. Do you know what the successful people in the Chernick Base Shop do? The people that are actually winning and succeeding and growing and learning and building a business, what do you think they do? There's 2 meetings. What do you think meetings they're at? 2. We're the ones who say sometimes, hey, listen, we got 2 meetings, but if you can come to at least 1, that'll be okay. Here's what that does. That waters down the truth. That's like, I want to make it easy for you to be successful, so you only have to come to 1 meeting. We hold 2, but don't worry about the other one. It's not really that important. Y'all understand how ridiculous that is?
Yeah.
If you're going to hold 2 meetings, your key teammates come to 2 meetings. Okay? And then some people go, well, I have soccer, little league, church that are important, and you let them know. No problem. That's the beauty of Primerica. It's flexible, and I'm here to help you, and come to the 1. But I'm going to give you the chance to change your schedule also. And I'm actually going to have a conversation about, could you do softball in a different league? Could you do both? Can you do it? If you were starting to succeed here, would you be able to rearrange that schedule later? I'm not going to water down the success formula. Does that make sense? Here's why. The winner, the competitor, the person that will do whatever it takes needs to know what it takes. And the standards need to be set at a level that drives people up to the top and not caters to the weak. And the weak are still important. They're your friends and clients, probably. Just because they didn't make it in the business doesn't mean they're not great people. Just means they weren't good in this business at that time. Do you all understand that? They are important. They're your relationships. Tesler Sanat said it yesterday in our conference call. He said, I have a base shop, and then I have a clientele. And I get most of my new business and recruits from my clients. I stay in touch with them. I'm their friend. I care about them. And they refer me to people. Most people in Primerica, they get a client, and all they do is worry about their recruits. They don't worry about the clients. Your clients are part of your influence. They're part of your reputation. They're part of the community. Does that make sense? Do good things. Answer their calls. Call them back in a timely manner. I promise you, you are going to get calls from certain clients, and you're going, oh, no, here they go. What's this? You're going to get calls from agents, and you're going to go, oh, God, what's he want now? You're going to get a lump in your throat. You're going to get sweaty. What is wrong? Oh, I have to deal with this. And then you deal with it. Or you fail. I promise you. Return your phone calls. I promise you. Return your text messages. I texted you 4 times. Did you not get my text messages?
Oh.
I just chose to ignore you.
Yeah.
See how that works? Can you imagine for a minute ignoring somebody and then them paying a price to help you get a promotion, and you just ignore them all the time? Those people must not be very bright. How smart could you be to let somebody abuse you and then you fight for them? You don't have to do that here. This is volunteer, guys. Okay? Look, you know how I know this stuff is so important? Because I've screwed it up. I made the mistakes. And I learned it doesn't work. I'm trying to give you some wisdom. Help you shortcut it. So the next time you try some of this stuff and it doesn't work, you'll remember, yeah, he told me this wouldn't work. He told me not calling my client back would be a problem. And it came in the form of a chargeback. Yeah, he mentioned that if I don't deliver my policies, that the pile of policies that I have in my car, that wasn't as much fun as recruiting as the #1 focus. Right, y'all got it? Got response. I had someone, one of our agents called and says, yeah, this agent won't do any follow-up. They said they can't work for the next month. They're busy for a month. I said, I'm not even busy for a month. Who the heck is so busy for a month that they can't deliver a policy? Oh, I think I'll commit my life to helping them succeed. They can't deliver a policy. Do you understand? These are just the signs that you have to learn how to filter through to say, where am I going to spend my time? Who am I going to invest in? Who am I going to go build my empire with? Who am I going to do my 4-point game plan with? Who's in with me on this 4-point game plan? That's the game. What if you could get a group of, is this like, okay. My secret password. There it is. Okay, so we've covered, guys, I just went for like 2 hours and gave you everything I had. Okay, I haven't gotten to one slide yet. I think one slide. Did you learn anything there?
Yes.
Okay, look, I'm not trying to scare you off. This stuff is really pretty simple. Find somebody who wants to make some money, who wants to help some people, right? And then you be the source to help them do it as long as they're willing to play the game by your rules. And if they won't play the game by your rules, you treat them nice, you encourage them, and you go look for the next one that wants to play by the rules of the game. And when you find the one who wants to play by the rules of the game, then you give them everything you got for however long it takes so they can run the play without you. That's Primerica. Cool?
Yeah.
That's the game. That's the game we're in. All right, and it is a blast as long as you've got lots of inventory. Inventory comes in the forms of human beings who have dreams and goals. So when is it fun? When you have inventory. When you got people to call. So let's look at this for a minute. Let's just look at this for a minute. What's the #1 problem for most of you in this room right now? When it comes to Primerica, really think, if you're licensed, what's the #1 challenge you're facing right now in the month of August 2017? Yes.
Getting my new recruit off so fast start, like getting them on appointments.
So getting a new recruit on appointments, that's what you labeled that, okay? Just hold on to that one. Someone else. Yes. Not enough new people. Got it? Add that in. That's there. What's the next one? What? Places to go. Okay, I'm going to narrow it down to something called appointments set. Your problem, if you've got one, is called not enough appointments, which comes in the category, if I would get my recruits started fast, I'd have some appointments, right? If I had some prospects, I'd have some appointments. So who is going to be in charge of this? The person sitting in your seat. You're in charge of it. Well, I know that's my problem.
Oh, there's a light.
I get the problem. I don't know how to fix it. Well, you're here. What would some ideas be? Let's look at this. Let's look. If the patient is sick, then the doctor must do an X-ray and prescribe a solution. So what's the solution? You need some coaching. Not in a meeting. You need one-on-one, someone to tell me what the heck to do. I got these goals, and this is where I'm at. Right? What do I got to do? Well, every one of you are different. Every one of you got a different situation. None of you are in the same situation. But I would bet for most of you, the subject of prospecting is where the weakness lies. Prospecting. Getting a bunch of names and numbers and being able to call names and numbers. Now, here's the good news. There's a video out there by Ian Pruckner. Ian Pruckner has written a video, or done a video called "How to Build a List of 1,000." Is that the name of it? How to build a list of 1,000. Where do I get that? Just go on YouTube or go to SoundCloud. These are two sources of everything you need today that you need is free on YouTube and SoundCloud. Free. And he's going to give you a breakdown of how to build a list of 1,000. And here's what's going to happen when he's all done. Some of you are going to go, well, I don't want to do all that. Okay, well then stay where you're at. Or some of you are going to go, I don't like where I'm at. I'll do whatever it takes. Okay, let's go. The reality is, if I landed in Lakeland like I did when I met him, what did I have? I had one name of one guy in Lakeland. His name was Jim. I had a name. He was referred to me by a guy from West Virginia who was named Jake, who was referred to me by a guy named Aaron Fisher, who met Jake on Facebook. Facebook. Oh, Facebook. Are there human beings on Facebook you could talk to? You could type a little thing, hey, I noticed you. Do you keep your options open? He goes, could you do that? Wow. Would that work better than what you're doing if you're doing nothing?
Yeah.
Do you know there are people that have built? I have a lady in my base shop or a vice president who makes $250,000 a year, was a social worker, making $36,000 a year, makes $250,000 a year. She's built her entire business on Facebook. She's been sending 20 new messages a day to people on Facebook for 5 years. Wow. 5 years. 5 years. She's been 20 messages a day. Well, what's she saying? Well, here's what she did. First thing she did is she made her Facebook page look appealing. It's like if you're going to send Facebook and you're like young, you probably ought to go back and maybe you need to erase that one and start again. Reinvent yourself a little. Right? So when someone checks out your Facebook, they go, wow, this looks like a pretty sharp person. Okay? So she did that. I have right now I'm using LinkedIn. There's a program called Sales Navigator. For about $80, I'm learning all about this right now. For about $80 a month, you can have like access to connect with unlimited numbers of people. And when they connect back with you, you get like 150 in-mails a month for $80 a month. So you can communicate with anybody. And you could like type in football coaches in Lakeland. And all the football coaches come up that have a LinkedIn account. Okay? So I just gave you two. Pardon?
Sales Navigator.
Sales Navigator. I hired a consultant to teach me how to do it. So I'm like 60, so Facebook is like not my thing. Like it is, I use it a little, but it's not my thing. But LinkedIn, I like that. That's not, I can have a profile. If they check me out, if you go check out John Lavin, there's some good stuff. I've worked really hard to make sure that all the crap isn't there. How did I do that? I live right. I do the right things. And it's worked out. It all adds up. And so now I can say, hey, listen, if you want to check me out, go on to YouTube, check me out. Go on to LinkedIn, check me out. Google me, check me out. Wouldn't you like to just be able to say that? Go check me out. Okay? Now, what you could say is, hey, I'm working with a guy. Go check him out. You can. I'm being coached directly by a guy who makes $1 million a year. Go check him out. Okay? If any of you write anything bad about me after today's meeting, I'm going to have it erased. All right, so some conversations before we take a break. Some conversations. Y'all got this?
Yes.
What is this? The track. It's the track. That's the track we run on. It's the combined, listen, if you want to do this with me the right way, you're all going to adopt this as your game plan. Well, John, I'm kind of a securities guy. That's fine. Still, pretend you aren't. Let's do this. Say this and be a securities guy. Start talking about this with your team, and maybe you'll give somebody else a chance to get in the securities business. A lot of these guys, oh, I'm just not a recruiter. Someone recruited you. What are you going to, you're going to deprive other people from the same thing that you love to do? Because you won't talk to anybody about the business opportunity because you're embarrassed? Or they might ask you a question you don't know the answer to? I'll tell you, these securities people that won't recruit, they're very selfish. They have more value to give recruits than anybody. Here's the problem. Securities is so cool and so fun and so interesting, you can get lost in securities land. Folks, or you could just learn Franklin Income Fund or Equity Income Fund and just get on with it. Y'all understand, you could be the greatest securities guru in the world. At the end of the day, you're going to make about a 1% difference in your recommendations. So just pick a good fund, get a good family of funds, get a nice simple formula, and get on with it, and get distribution built. Look, Ray Kroc was very clear. People said, Ray was in the distribution business. Ray wanted to build outlets. Ray's goal was real estate. You know, Ray, they wanted a McDonald's in every corner of every town. And people would come to him all the time and say, we need to have some more stuff here. He said, stop with that. This is simple. French fries, milkshakes, and hamburgers. Soda, that's it. That's what we do. Keep it simple. We're going to get these things built everywhere. And then eventually, when we got the outlet structure built, we got distribution built, we'll add like chicken in. And then we'll sell more chicken than anybody ever sold. Why? Because we have the outlets. Coca-Cola did the same thing. They wanted a Coke machine on every corner. Someone came with an idea, hey, let's put some root beer in this machine. No, right now we're in the outlet business. We're getting distribution set up. Someday we'll put root beer, Diet Pepper, Sprite, Diet Coke. We'll put many things. We'll get multiple sources of income out of the same machine in the future. Right now we need the machines. So for those of you that want, here we go, I'm going to move forward. Okay, so these are the problems. Watch this, just so you know. Are these problems?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, watch this. What's that say? Now this, I really need to fix this. This slide's wrong. This needs to be in red. Do you know why it needs to be in red? Because you always, everything in red must be red. Everything in red, R-E-D, must be R-E-A-D. Many of you have these little closing questions at the end built into your presentations, and you don't use them. Why did we write this? So you can decide not to use it? Well, John, they know how real and serious this is. It says it. Why do I need to ask them that? How real and serious are these problems? How real are they? I got two. How real and serious are these? Very real. How serious are they? Very serious. Who's helping, other than Primerica, who's helping families fix these problems? Do you know of anybody? No. See that little New York Life.
Oh.
New York Life. Let me tell you about New York Life. No, I've recruited. I have some New York Life guys in my office right now. I've recruited. Okay. New York Life, they're despicable. Some of the offices are not, but the one in Philadelphia is. Let me tell you why. They would not allow him to get a securities license because he was not writing enough whole life insurance. So when all you have is a hammer, everything's a nail. So if you want a retirement plan and you don't have a securities license, and you have two choices, a fixed annuity, not a fixed indexed annuity, a fixed annuity or a whole life policy, and you want a retirement plan, that's what you get, one of those two things. And the fixed annuity doesn't pay any money, hardly, and doesn't earn any interest, really. So we're going to give you this whole life policy as your retirement plan. That's how they sell it. Real story. Okay? So anyway, other than them, who's helping families with this? Okay? Right? So now look, so watch this. This is a phrase you need to learn. Use this phrase. The key to success in business is find a need and what? Fill a need. Just you gotta take some of this phrase now. Now we're talking about recruiting. The way you recruit is you overcome all objections in advance. Every objection must be covered. You must handle it. If you're not ready to handle it, sit with someone who is and learn what they do. Watch them handle it. Learn how to handle every objection. You got to figure out you got to be one step ahead of the question. And here's how you really learn how to do it. You start doing these presentations and the same stupid questions keep getting asked. And eventually you go, you know what, I really don't want this question. If they ask me this question, I think I'm going to explode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer that question before they answer it so I don't have to hear them ask me that question. Like, is this a pyramid? Like, if I hear that question. Yeah, because you're not handling it before they ask it. Like, if you say to me, is this a pyramid? Like, are you like in a pyramid? Like, I have people say, they see my Facebook stuff. Guys at the country club go, are you like in a pyramid? Like, as soon as they start with the, you can hear them, like, they don't want to insult you.
Right,
So you answered like a pyramid? They answer, they go, oh, yeah. They're relieved. You brought it up. Then you can have fun with them and say, like in Egypt? Like a pyramid like in Egypt? They go, no, not like in Egypt. Like a pyramid scheme. like where they do all the work and you get all the money. Aren't you in one of those? Oh, you mean like a business? Now, you guys better be clear. That's how business is. They give you a great example. Guy says, yeah, no, it's where like they do the work and then you get a piece of it and everybody gets a piece of it. Like a business. Like, let me give you an example. Here's a great example. Are any of you in the construction business? Are any of you a general contractor? Or have any of you ever been a general contractor? Okay. So Mitch, general contractor. So let's say I want to add an addition on my house.
Right.
1,000 square foot addition. And I come to you, you're the gen. I say, Mitch, I want you to bid this job out. I've got a couple other people that I'm bidding it out to, but I want you to bid it out. All right? So as the general contractor, tell me what you would do. You're the general contractor. I'm going to build this den. So what's the den going to have?
I'd figure out what all my subs would charge me.
Okay, good. So now here we go. We got subs. Give me an example of the subs.
Sheetrock.
Sheetrock.
Foundation.
Foundation.
Framing. Roofing. Electrical. Plumbing if needed.
Plumbing. Flooring. Right? The downspout guy. Right? All that, right?
Right.
Like 7 of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to get all your subcontractors together. You're going to go, hey, listen, I got a job, but I need you to price this out for me. And you're going to go probably to 3 electricians. Or you're going to have your buddy that you got. He's your guy, right? And you're going to say, what can you do it for? And what are you going to do it for? How much are you going to do the roofing for? What are you going to, and then what you're going to do, tell me what then. So they're going to give you their price. So let's say the electrical guy says, I will do all the electrical for $7,500. That's what I'm going to charge you, Mitch, the general contractor. That's what I'll do it for.
Too much.
point it.
What do you? Let's say that's the price and you're okay with it.
You add it all up.
No, just what I said, $7,500. Now, what are you going to do with that?
I'm going to mark it up to 95.
He's marking it up,
Right.
and then you're coming to me, the person who wants the house, with a final price, with all the subcontracted numbers, with the markups. That's your money.
Right.
Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay, and then if you get the job, you're going to show up in the morning and make sure the subcontractors are doing what they're supposed to do. And if you're good at it, you're going to have 4 or 5 of these things going, and you're going to drive around to all the different jobs where all the other people are doing all the work, and you're collecting your markup. Is that how that works?
Exactly.
Pyramid. Y'all got that little story?
Yeah.
That's a good one. When I heard that, I said, well, if they're going to argue with me after that, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay? Because at the car dealership, it works the same way. There's the salesman, then there's the sales manager, then there's the dealer, the owner,
General manager.
then there's the general manager, then there's the area manager, then there's the company, Ford, right? And then there's all the people that made all the materials at a price that got marked up. It's all pyramid. It's called business. But you just never had a chance to participate in it. Okay, now we're going to show you how to get your piece. How would you like it if I put 100 people under you and you got paid on everything they did? Would you like that?
Yes.
So it's okay then. Now. Just change quick. That's how handle it. Handle it. So when I do op meetings, did I handle it the other night in the meeting? Did I handle it? Brought it right up. Bring it right up. Every object. How about this objection? I don't know if I could do this. This is the greatest. I love this. You bring this up every day. I just don't. This looks great, but I see the need. The company seems great. You do great stuff for people. It looks like there's money, but I don't know if I could do this. Well, you know, if you don't know if you could do something, what's the only way to find out? I have to try. So are you willing to try? Absolutely. Here's your IBA. Give me your 124. We're ready to go. Do you understand you could close every interview with that? Every interview. You can be all done. You can be all done and say, you know what? Sometimes people say to me, we get all done. We at this point. I know you like it. You'd be great. And then people say to me things like, John, I just don't know if I could do this. And you could do it like, you don't have to be animated. You could just say, sometimes people, they just say, I just don't know if I could do this. So let me ask you a question. When you don't know if you could do something, what's the only way to find out?
Try it.
Try it. So are you willing to give it a try?
Yes.
Okay. I'd love to help you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And you fill out the paperwork. Y'all got that one?
Yeah.
I'm not a good closer. Try that. That will work. There's a guy in Pennsylvania. He recruits 10 directs every month. He's under Don Baxter. Every month, he recruits 10. He just became vice president. His first month, he recruited 20, and that's his close. That's how he closes out meetings. Then after the meeting, he says, so what'd you like most? So you're willing to give it a try? He's already covered the try thing. Everybody in the audience already said, if you don't know if you can do something, what's the only way to find out? They all go, got to try. So you're willing to give it a try? What's at risk here? $124? Not really. $30. This is the other part of his close. It's really $30 at risk. Because if you don't go to PFSU, in 28 days, you're entitled to all your money back but $30. Do you all know that? How many of you knew that? If you didn't know that, it's in the IBA under refund policy. Read it. Show it to somebody. This is all that's at risk. See, it's $124. We're going to sponsor you. Get all your licenses. You get all your licenses, which means you're more valuable in the marketplace. Which means if you go to a bank, there's another close. Use this. Use this every single interview you do. You can tell people, look, if all you did was come here, get your licenses, and quit, this would have been a positive experience. Because when you go to work at a bank as a teller, they're going to pay you about how much? The answer is about 25 to 30 grand a year. Go to the same bank with your insurance and investment license, and what are you going to get? 50 grand. The license that you paid $124 for and $25 a month made you 20 to 30 grand a year more at a bank. If this doesn't work, and by the way, if it doesn't work and you have an insurance license and an investment license and you stick that on your resume, does that make you more valuable in the marketplace?
Yes.
And that's what they say. Folks, you've got to overcome the objections. You should recruit everybody. Everybody really should do this. That ought to be your attitude. Now, not everybody will, but it's not bad to have the attitude. Why wouldn't you? Okay? So I'm going to make that red. I'm going to make all the questions in red so that people that I'm training can remember that if it's in red, it's to be read. And if it says, if there's a question mark, just pretend it says WFA right here. WFA. We can't put it there, but it should say WFA. Right after every question mark, it says WFA, which means what? Wait for answer. We once put it in a script, and a guy was reading it. He says, how real and serious are these problems, Wolfley? I fixed that in my scripts many years ago. I said, his name was Dr. Trump. He was really doing it. Okay, let's talk about the next subject. Is another subject. We got these are stories. This is like I got to learn these stories. So the slides remind you of what story to tell. This is the story of we only have a 2% market share. This is the story of we have a goal of a 10% market share. Now, if you listen to an audio on YouTube, done by Larry Weidel, called the 4-Point Game Plan, it'll fill in all this stuff. There's lots of stories in it. Larry's an amazing storyteller. He was telling a story yesterday I was listening to where he says, companies that get too big and have too much market share, the government steps in and breaks them up because they're monopolies, right? He said it's really cool to try to become one of them. Like if you're involved in a company that gets busted up by the government and you started it, what happens to you? You and your family are rich forever. So how many of you are interested in let's attempt this let's attempt to make Primerica that. I'm 60. I just would love, before my last breath, I want that to happen. I want the government to step in and say, you're too good, Primerica. You're too big. New York Life has waved the flag, and we've got to break you guys up. You're too big. He says at 10 to 20% market share, that doesn't happen. So you're safe at 10 to 20. So if we get 10, we're already doing what we're doing. We get to 10. Are a lot of people helped? Yeah. So are there a lot of communities in this country? Are there a lot of places, a lot of towns and cities that would benefit by people having the benefits of our insurance and investment and debt management plans? Yes?
Yes.
And they don't. And why don't they? Not enough representation. So we've already attempted this idea of training people better. Training people better. And we found out training people better doesn't get the result. Because as you're spending the time on the training, you still got a problem called not enough new people coming in to train. So some people will, some people won't. So what? Someone else is waiting. It's called SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone else is waiting. You got to have an attitude of that, all right? So our goal is to get to 10%. If you help us with that, we're going to give you raises. See, we will pay you to help us expand. If you worked at a company and they said, we need more employees, if you have any friends that are good, why don't you tell them to apply? Right? Got that? What would you do? You go to your friends, you go, hey, my company's expanded, and they told me if I knew any good people to have them apply, and you're a good person, you ought to apply. And hey, they like me down there, so don't say anything stupid. Will you?
Yes.
Why is this any different? Why is this different? Oh, it's not a salary. Yeah, salary's way worse than this opportunity. A salary means someone's going to tell you what you're going to earn and when you have to work, right?
Yep.
So a salary means that someone's going to tell you where you're going to live, what you're going to drive, and where your kids are going to go to school, and where you're going to eat, and when you go to a restaurant, whether you read the menu from the left to the right. Your salary's going to dictate that. So if your salary's not very big, like you go to the menu and you look at the menu and you read the prices, and when it says $7, you look over and it says hot dog. That's how you buy your food at a restaurant, based on the right side, not based on what you want. Why? Because your income limits your choices, yes?
Right.
So we're thinking, oh, it's not the same. No, this is way better. They'd be screaming from the rooftops. Yeah. Okay? So here it is, financial independence. So then we're going to take a break right after this, all right? Financial independence. There is no financial independence with that word at the bottom. Passive. Passive income. Now, I promise you, if you leave today and you take on 4-Point Game Plan, that's story. Y'all got that one? Okay. You take on producer or reproducer, that story, right? And then you take on this story. Maybe add a cash flow quadrant in, and you're good to go. You're good. You got them. You got the, and if then you practice that and you get good at telling those stories, you will become a builder and a recruiter. Okay? And this one is a very simple one. The company was founded with one main goal, and that was to give people a chance for financial independence for their families. Art Williams actually stated that the priority of the company, the goal, was to build what? More financially independent families than any company had ever built. That was his stated goal. Is that your stated goal where you work? If you have a job, what's their goal? It's not that.
No.
That's a pretty cool goal. I say that. Look, I'm saying it to you all. If I'm doing an interview or I'm with a client, that's what I tell them. If I say to you, our goal is to build more financially independent families than any other company's ever built, that's our goal. Have you ever heard anything like that before? That's pretty cool, right? That's why I'm so excited. It's a cool thing we do. Now, if you don't get excited about it, that's not my fault. It's none of my business that you didn't get excited about it. I'm going to move on. I can't spend a lot of time with you if that doesn't interest you. My goals are finding people that are like-minded. So what is financial independence? Now, we all discussed this. Everybody wants it. So what's the definition? Many definitions. Well, give me a definition. Oh, okay. When passive income, what? Say it.
Living expense.
Yeah, so here it is. Here it is. So you achieve financial independence as soon as your passive income exceeds your living expense. How many of you have seen that before? You've heard that, you've seen it. Anybody? You sat in my meeting the other night, you'd be raising your hand right now. I said this. I used this slide. Yet when I asked the question, I only got 2 answers. That's fine. We have some work to do. This stuff needs to come out of your team's mouth like water's running out of a faucet. This right here. You're financially independent as soon as your passive income exceeds your living expense. Passive income. That's income that what? That you're not doing the work to receive the money. So now watch this one. There is no financial independence without passive income. By the way, I said this at the convention. These same things. My whole convention speech was built on this. At the securities meeting, when they asked me to speak on the blue and green brochures, the disclosure forms you have to give out, I spoke about that for 3 minutes, and I spoke for 12 minutes on this. Okay? Because this is what's important, not those brochures. Those brochures are very important, but it doesn't take long to explain to people. Give the brochures and explain the costs associated with making change, why people should change their investments or not, right? So let's look at this. There's 2 primary sources of passive income. Money working for you and a business working for you. Money and what? What's the seminar?
Money.
What do we deal with?
Money.
What would I be doing?
Money.
Why? Because that's where financial independence is. Money working for you or business working? That's it. Money, that's the slow route. Money working for you is a slow track for most people. $585 a month at 9% for 30 years gives you what? $1,080,000. Y'all know that slide?
Yeah.
That's slow. $1 million would generate 50 grand a year in income. Here's another thing you want to learn to do. Ready? You want to learn to dollarize the amount of money. So if when they're 65 and they've got their plan, and it says their plan will have $300,000. If I'm a normal human being and I'm going to have $300,000, that if I don't know any better, does that look like a lot of money?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. But in income, what is it? So if you take that $300,000, what are the conservative rates of return that you should use as an example when you're pulling money off of investments so you never run out? Does anybody know what the number is? 4, really. We up it to 5 because the math's easy. Okay? Then it's 10 divided by 2, right? See, 300,000, 5%, that's 30,000 divided by 2. That's how I do math. Right? Y'all got that? For some of you that aren't real good at math, that's the way you do it. 10%'s easy. All the rest are hard to me. I do 10 divided by 2, that's 5. I got it. 30, that's 15,000 a year divided by 12 months. How much is that a month? 15,000 a year divided by about like what? 1,100? 1,200? 1,200 bucks a month? So 300,000 look like a lot of money. What is it? 1,300 a month. That's what it is. Yeah, that's it. That's about what your Social Security check is. All right? So that's what, so you have to learn to dollarize this stuff. All right? So this is a slow route, money working for you. A million is going to give you 50, because 10% would be 100. Half of that is 50. Y'all see that? Nice and so you can do that all day long. You got to learn to do that. You got to teach your people how to do it. I meet people all the time. You start asking them this stuff, and they fog out. They're not good at math. They're scared of it. I mean, today we could use calculators easy, but just learn some simple formulas, right? So a million is worth 50. How long does it take to accumulate a million? $585 a month for 30 years. And what do most people tell us the problem with that is? Where am I getting the 585? I don't know 585. What are you kidding me? I don't know 585. If you work with extra laying around here so that I could have my million. Plus, I didn't even know I needed it because no one ever told me. And you show up with this information. At least before you came, I didn't even know I had a problem. So I was miserable and didn't know I had a problem. Now I'm miserable and know the problem. That's really bad. No, you can now fix it. Okay? $585 a month. Here's another problem. 9%. Oh, 9%. You can't get. Where are you going to get that? You ever have anybody? This is South. They do. You ought to see them do it in Philly. Where are you going to get that? Dude. 9%. You can't get 9%. Here's what you need. 9%. Handle the objection before they bring it up. So here, watch this. I don't know if it's here. No, I just you know the slide, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
$585 a month for 30 years at 9%. There's two problems. So you bring the objection up. First problem is what? See this $585? What do you think most people say to us right there? Where am I getting that from? We specialize in either finding it or helping you earn it. We're either going to help you find it or we're going to help you earn it. I'm going to show you in a little while where if you help 3 clients in a month, you'll be able to take $585 and put it away and spend about $585 on whatever you want. Okay? Help 3 clients a month. I don't care what level they're at. You're making $1,000 bucks. Okay? Then you got the 9% issue. $585, 30 years at 9%. Here's what people are thinking. Where am I getting $585? Then as soon as you answer that, the next thing they're thinking is, where are you getting 9%? You cannot allow them to ask you that question. You must handle it before they ask it. So before they say, where are you going to get 9%? You need to say, you know what a lot of people say? Where am I going to get 9%? You do it like the wise guy would do it. And we all know you can't get 9%. There's no such thing as 9%. What are banks paying today? Less than 1%. What's this 9%? Well, you can't get 9%, but you could have averaged 9%. So getting 9% and averaging 9% are not the same thing. You all understand that? Mm-hmm. Average 9% might look like this. Up 20%, down 15, down 10, up 20, up 6, down 2. Over time, it averaged 9%. What did? What averaged it? The S&P 500 is averaged in excess of 9%. What's the S&P 500? Listen, right? See what I just did there? I just said the S&P 500. And some of you are brand new, and you really actually your brain went, what? Huh? You don't know what that is yet. That's okay. None of us do. So then you got to explain that. That's 500 stocks of the top industries, the top companies in the top industries, 500 small, medium, and large companies that make up an index called the S&P 500. So it's 500 companies. And it's what they've averaged in returns, and it's been 9%. If you owned all 500 for the last 30 years, you own the S&P 500 for 30 years, you'd average about 10%. Okay? So you can't get 9%, but you could average it over time. Y'all got that? You're going to have to learn how to handle that. You're going to handle that story. If you don't deal with that, you're going to have people going, like, when they're done leaving, you go, this guy was like a good guy. And all he's starting to talk about 9%. What a joke. You can't get 9%. They're saying it out in the parking lot. You didn't deal with it. They're going to their broke brother-in-law and going, hey, you ever hear of this Prime America? They don't even know the name. They're going home and their spouse going, so how was the job interview, honey? Oh, it's great, honey. This is so awesome. I paid $99. Wait, you went to a job interview and you paid? What kind of job you pay for? How could you have somebody think this was a job? Hey, I'm going for an interview, job interview, honey. How could they think it's a job? Can I tell you something? When I get on the phone with somebody and I tell them, they go, what's it about? I go, let me tell you what it's about. It's about an entrepreneurial opportunity. It's about a chance to break out of the box. It's for people that are sick and tired of corporate America telling them what they're worth. Are you interested? That's how I answer. No, I like a job. Okay, have a good day. Wasting time with you. We teach people about money and business. We help families learn the basics of money and the principles of personal finance because we never got the class in school. Did you ever have a class called Money 101? Did you ever get taught about personal finance? You know what they say? No, we teach it. And we license people to do that. But the real opportunity is for the entrepreneur. The real opportunity for someone who's ready to see how good they are in the free enterprise system. The real opportunity is for somebody who wants to make $100 grand a year plus, own their own business. The great thing is you don't have to quit your job to try. Are you interested in finding out more? Y'all got, that's what I say. Oh, let me write that down. Write it down. How about if you say what you say? That's what I say. But John, I mean, does that get results? Seems to be working. You know why? I don't waste time with the wrong people. Like if you said to me, no, that's really not my thing. Say, okay, well, maybe tell me a little bit about what you're thinking. I keep the conversation going. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? I might try some other things, but basically I'm going to get right to the point. Okay, y'all with me?
Yes.
How many of you would have been interested if somebody said you can make $1,000 to $2,000 a month part-time while you're learning, you get all your licenses and you help families, and if you're good at it, you can make a six-figure and up income for the rest of your life and own it. Would you like to know more about that? How many of you would have said, yes, I'd like to know more about that? That's it. I just covered the whole day.
Yeah.
That's the 5 reasons is what that is. So isn't that cool to know? You don't have to hide none of this. You don't have to be wandering. Like, I love Amway. Amway is so cool. I met this guy, I don't know, who got me? Somebody last night who had tried Amway. And they said, well, it was Amway, but they didn't call it that. They called it LTD Limited.
Yeah.
International. So that's Amway. Well, it was a division of Amway. No, they use Amway, but they don't want to say the word Amway, so they call it this. Well, I have nothing against Amway, but that's the way they're taught to do it. Don't say that. People won't join if they know what it is. This is Primerica. I have people that did. Hello, PFS Investments. Hello, PFS, may I help you? I'm not trying to insult anybody. Just tell them what it is. Think that's gonna fool somebody? Oh, it's PFS, so let me Google that. They're gonna find when they Google that. Who knows? What's the name of the company? Primerica. Be proud of it. If they Google it, it's mostly good. And if they get caught up by the guy who said something bad, they're not very bright. Did you ever read any of the negative things, the language, the actual dictation, the way people Some of the people that argue about primary, if you read what they wrote, the spelling, the grammar would tell you they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, watch this one. Ready? What were we all taught? This is important. This is really important. What were we all taught? Do well in school, go to college, get a job, work for a good company, everything will be great.
Yep.
How's that working for most people? Folks, this is a conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do this, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take like a 10-minute break, and then Thomas is going to show you a form that you're going to be able to use, that we're going to start using to convert every kitchen table into a recruiting interview. Because we've got to make a shift. We've got to be recruiters first. We've got to learn how to aim at the recruit and miss with the sale. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got to be able to go to like the quarterback calls the play. It's called a touch. This is going to score a touchdown. They go to the line of scrimmage, and they had the play called in the huddle, and then they notice that the defense is set up to ruin the play. Do they run the play?
No.
They audible off.
Yep.
They change the play at the line of scrimmage. Our play is, I'm recruiting you, and I'm going to help you change your life. And when you say, I ain't interested in that, we're going to audible.
Yep.
We're going to go to money, finance, insurance, investments, Vivint, ID theft, auto and home, wills, budgets, debt. We're going that way. And we'll circle back to the recruiting when you realize you're broke and you don't have enough money to do all that.